Welcome everybody to the most controversial Oscars in years. And we're still a month away. Oh my word.
Yes.
I can't wait till we talk
Oh,
about the state of race. Because holy crap.
I, I was I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and I said, "Isn't Conclave just looking really unproblematic right now? Con- Conclave's just minding its own business, existing."
Conclave is just pissing off those people that are unhappy with the depiction of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, anybody that's mad at Conclave doesn't matter anyway. So
Yeah, the list of foreseeable winners is getting smaller and smaller by the day. And this
well,
potential sweep that keeps happening, they may have hit a roadblock, potentially. I don't
well,
think so, but it could be possible.
well. Before we've even done the introductions, I
Yeah.
need to.
Apparently.
We're doing this
um,
like the Brutalist. We're letting you wait 15 minutes until we get the credits. I can say that now, having seen it.
All right, everybody
yeah.
freeze frame.
Oh, hang on. No. I've got to be to 45 degrees like the credits are at the end as well.
Now fade to black and white, and timer comes up on the screen, and watch everybody kibitz around for a few minutes. Okay, we're good.
It opens and it says overture, and I was like, oh, we're going the whole way with this. It's like, oh, it's starting. Never mind. It's like, oh, these scenes are the overture. Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, what I was saying about you were talking about the possible winners being narrowed down. Well, first of all, we're not jumping ship on. They've only been doubling down on Amelia Perez, so we don't even know if the controversies are going to do anything. What my fear is, of course, and it's going to come up a few times tonight. There is another movie that's very controversial, but it's only controversial to anybody that watches our stuff. And I'm really worried about the fact that that movie also has been pretty much untouched because my voice is so silent because fuck everything. Um,
I believe the terminology is intimacy coordinator or lack thereof. It doesn't. It's not without question either.
oh, I didn't hear this.
Yeah.
You mean
Apparently, there was not an intimacy coordinator that was on set, so that's given a little bit of heat to the movie as well. So yeah, it's not unscathed. Trust me.
was it like Mikey Madison that brought this up, or how did it come about?
It was brought up on social media like a long time ago. Ashley, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Is it just somebody noticed that intimacy coordinator wasn't listed in the credits, I'm guessing?
Possibly, but I think it was mentioned during an interview. And I'm pretty sure Mikey Madison did bring it up. But this was a long time ago, and they like to forget things that happened like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So
I don't want this to be like, oh, I'm making light, or oh, I'm being gross about this. I'm being genuinely serious. I would have had one.
oh yeah, for sure.
That's all I'm saying.
And speaking of which, when she does Luca's next movie, which got information dropped today, he'll have one. So
Wow. Okay. So she went from Tarantino to
him.
him to Guadagnino.
Yep.
Wow. That her career is a roller coaster for me.
Yeah, no lie.
Not to mention Scream as well, but
Which I'm so excited. Can't wait. Don't care. Literally don't care about politics. I'm super excited for the things I found out.
And everybody and their mother now being added to Nolan's Odyssey film as well.
Yes. Another thing that dropped this weekend.
The cast list might as be the entire list of the SAG nominees, probably bar one. So yeah, I'm
So-
Ashley, that's AJ, that's Owen. We lived up to the hype. There was your overture. Now we get to the main bulk of the stuff.
I haven't pre-gamed these very much. It's gonna be one of those nights.
I was looking at I was at work today and I was looking at them in my office and I'm like, this seems pretty cut and dry. And then I thought about it and I was like, it is never this easy. So I might take some wild swings tonight. We'll see. Because I have a thought in my mind of something that could possibly happen that I haven't quite decided if I'm going to go with yet. But we'll get there.
I'm hoping, by the way, I'm hoping I don't have like really bad connection problems because my internet has been plugged in and that's why I've been doing so well lately. But for some reason, I've plugged it and unplugged it, but it's only saying the Wi-Fi is running, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, and it's running.
It looks
Hopefully,
good.
okay. Hopefully I stay intact.
Yes, you're coming in clear.
So I'm guessing we'll leave SAG till last.
Yes.
And then I'm guessing if we do second last WGA, we'll just go in. I can't work out whether PGA or DGA is going to be first because they're both listed as the same day. But if we do them two first.
The great thing about today is we're going to cover all the guilds. So we
the
don't have to
major
do
guilds.
we don't have to do the guilds that matter in our circumstance when it comes to the conversation and the competition. The D, the P, the W, and the SAG. Let's go.
Where are we starting?
I don't know. Want to start with the most unimportant one of them all?
What, the DGA?
WGA?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, not if you're me, it's WGA. Let's go. Yeah, let's go with WGA.
And which ones do we do? Like, do we here?
I thought it was just
For
original, adapted, and is it doc as well?
Yeah. We only go with the 3.
No TV. No TV. No more than we have to.
TV is only brought into consideration for SAG.
Okay. So for documentary screenplay, we have Jim Henson, Idea Man, Kiss the Future, Martha, and War Game. Based on very little, I'm gonna say War Game.
Okay.
I don't really have strategy on that. I'm just going with that.
Ashley, what do you got?
Just because of it appearing as many times as it does in a lot of the other guilds, at least in terms of the tech stuff, be it your editing and things like that, I'm going to say the Jim Henson Idea Man one.
I, too, am going to go with Jim Henson, Idea Man.
All right. So, adapted?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We have Industry Golden Boy, A Complete Unknown.
You know it.
Dune, Hitman, Nickel Boys, and Wicked. Well, what I'm about to say is going to sound very familiar in a second. Guess we're narrowing it down to the 2 Oscar nominees, right?
I'd say so.
Well, they are, I cannot express this enough, they are obsessed with A Complete Unknown.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
But there's clearly passion in there for Nickel Boys, even though it only got the 2 nominations, because it, especially for the kind of movie it is, feels like it says a lot.
Agreed.
About the people that do have strong feelings towards it. And like I said, I feel like 75 to 80% of A Complete Unknown script is just pre-existing lyrics. It has to be. I mean, so they could go with that. I'm gonna say Nickel Boys, I guess.
Okay.
They could throw a curveball, but I don't imagine so. Obviously, Hitman would be one of the better choices, but I'm not going to overestimate them. So,
Ashley.
Apparently, I am. I'm saying Hitman.
All right.
I mean, they have sort of thrown like weird ones before,
Yeah, I can see that.
and AJ, you did say Nickel Boys, right?
Yes.
Rather than
yes.
the Dylan stuff.
We'll get there.
The Dylan stuff, I just felt that like they just wrote Joan Baez as a bitch. Like, you write the songs for me. Screw anybody else. You write Blowing in the Wind for me. I'll do it. Like, okay. I don't get why she's the supporting lead when it should be Elle Fanning. I know she's in the movie less, but she's more the linchpin of the whole thing. But
you're not wrong.
But yeah, I just feel that there might be enough for Hitman to sort of get acknowledged here. You know, that I feel that there's some things here where the guilds could just completely try and obviously in with most of the others, it's probably the guilds that could influence what happens in terms of the Oscars. But sometimes WGA has gone sometimes left field. Not recently, but I'd like to see it happen at least this time, I feel. So, which means watch it be Doom Part 2 and everyone goes, what?
It kind of...
let's go with Hitman. You know, we haven't had a comedy do well at WGA outright for a while.
Owen and I had this discussion recently. I think it was off air.
Probably.
About what WGA tells us, because it basically feels like it tells us nothing. That it if anything, it could tell us what's not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I felt like at the Oscars when Belfast beat Licorice Pizza, and for a long time everybody thought, oh, that's PTA's win finally. And that was that really wild year where Don't Look Up beat Licorice Pizza here when Belfast wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Belfast wasn't here. And that felt like it was enough of a blow to show that Belfast was the one that could eke by, because it was... Yeah, it's like, it wasn't good. It wasn't telling for Don't Look Up, it was telling for Licorice Pizza, is what happened. So...
I don't really need to elaborate more based upon what AJ just said. I think this is the only thing Ramel Ross is going to run all season, so I'm going to go Nickel Boys.
Okay. Original?
I guess.
You got me and Sean.
Yep.
You got my favorite movie of the year, Challengers. Civil War, My Old Ass, and A Real Pain. Well, once again, I assume we can narrow it down to the Oscar nominees, which again are 2. And I've been saying that I think people have been trying to help me through this by giving me hope for other things, but
you're welcome.
I have been under the assumption that this category has a frontrunner. Who is here? And I am as well.
Mainly, yeah.
So, I'm going to assume... I've been assuming that my partially stolen script is... and he's here. He's up against 3 that weren't nominated by the Oscars and 1 that should probably be running away with this category. And it's ludicrous to me that Eisenberg just seems like he's happy to be here when he should absolutely be threatening to win, but that does not seem to be the case. So I am going with that. I'm going with the one I don't want to.
That's fair. Ashley, what do you got?
Yeah. I will probably say Honora on this one as well. I was contemplating Real Pain, but I'm trying to work out if WGA is actually going to understand that film.
Well,
Because I feel that some people that have gone out saying that isn't a comedy, and it's like, well, yeah, it's not like a bloody, it's not a slapstick bloody Carry On movie. It's supposed to be a subtle thing. It's comedy from incidents or, aspects. It's not supposed to be sort of a giant laugh out loud thing. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's because they just put all the jokey bits and put it in the trailer to make it look like that, and then the rest of it is just like a serious thing about, coming to terms with Holocaust family members and things like that. Like, I'm wondering whether there could be a sympathy vote thing for My Old Ass.
I would like that.
And that crossed my mind.
Is there potential for that? I mean, if Challengers or Civil War goes in, why did you not vote for it in the terms of the Oscar? So yeah, I'll go with Honora on this one. And then if it doesn't stick, maybe we have hope for a month's time.
I'm gonna again. It's just like Ashley going all in on going with Hitman for like the shot in the dark. I thought about going with Challengers here. Wanted to. Had this whole thing about kind of winning this competition this year. I feel like it's time for it to happen. I don't think it's going to again, but I'm gonna try. Like actually try this time around. I'm gonna Orange Cassidy this, and I'm actually going to try. So. Yeah. Same thing as everybody else. I go with AJ Script and hope that he doesn't win anything else the rest of the season.
Okay. DGA?
Okay. So are we doing... Obviously, we're doing feature... Are we doing first-time feature? I don't recall.
Documentary, first time, and the main prize.
Okay, so the three. All right, cool. I did not prepare those, so we'll get there in a minute. First time feature, AJ.
We have All We Imagine Is Light, My Old Ass, Nickel Boys, Armand, and Dee Dee. Lot of strong choices here.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it past Pyle Capadia to take this, actually, even though there is an obvious choice.
Sure.
I'm going with the obvious choice. I'm going with Ramel Ross. The thing is having seen Nickel Boys now, much like The Brutalist, it's not a movie I'm passionate about, personally, but I feel like it's going to be really weird in retrospect that he's not in the main director lineup. Given that it's like we were saying, that basically the way in which he executed that movie visually is that movie.
That's the main selling point about the movie is its visuals, the way it's shot.
So it would be wild if he didn't get this, but we've had people that seemed obvious here that didn't get this. Bradley Cooper.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
But with that said, Pyle Capadia winning this as well would not surprise me.
Same. Ashley.
I too be going for Ramel Ross. I'm hoping I eventually get to see it. I mean, my fear is it's probably the only chance I'm going to probably get to see it is when it shows up on Amazon Prime, because it's an MGM thing, so they'll probably stick it up there in that manner.
The thing that sucks, Ashley, is it's actually... I mean, I'm not a major fan of the movie. I'll leave that to be said. but I will say that it needs to be watched theatrically, 100%. Especially the way it's shot. It needs to be watched in like the biggest. I don't care if you have like Frank's 2,000-inch TV from Weird Al. That's the only like rule that would work otherwise. But at the end of the day, it does not matter what kind of sound system you have at your house. You need to watch this in a theater like it's meant to be seen. And Ramel Ross would probably agree with me when I say that.
And all I have to deal with is, for some reason, a second week of bloody flight risk.
Oh, which is funny that you say that, because check your emails right now if you're watching the channel, because Flight Risk is being reviewed right as we speak. So if the show's over, AJ's review just got posted a few minutes ago.
Pre-recorded. This isn't a substance type of thing where I have another person somewhere.
Yes.
At least I've got this coming week for Dogman and September 5 to fall back on.
Oh, September 5 is so great.
But yeah, Nickel Boys, for the present, just really for the presentation style from what I've described, although, as it said, I wouldn't object to any of those 5 winning.
No.
They're all strong movies.
I would like if Sean Wang won, honestly, because I really dug Dee Dee a lot. Because, I mean, we talked about Megan Park winning For My Old Ass, and I really like that movie as well, but there's not enough love for Dee Dee, even though Joan Chen was trying to make it a thing for quite a while until that just wasn't a thing anymore. But I'm going to concur with AJ on this. Pio Capadia is the only person I can foreseeably see taking this from Ramel Ross, but again, I don't think that's going to happen. I also go with Nickel Boys. Documentary is interesting because there's a lot of Oscar contenders here, and then one that's not, but one that's got a lot of praise. So it looks very like.
There's 3 of them are nominees. All 5 of them were shortlisted.
Correct.
We got Porcelain War, Sugarcane, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, Hollywood Gate, and Daughters. I'm just going to kind of confidently say Porcelain War, but this is one of those categories where I feel like it could honestly be anything.
What do you got, Ashley?
Ooh, I went with Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat.
We're gonna split this category then. Because I went with Daughters.
Yeah.
Something tells me one thing that's not nominated for the Oscar may be the winner of the WGA.
I mean DGA.
Close enough.
Right. My second choice probably would have been Sugarcane, but honestly, like this could go anywhere, honestly.
Speaking of going anywhere, except for you, ODR, it's nice to see that you joined us for a bit.
Wow.
TrickleDownEffect.com. Anyway.
All right, for feature film at DGA, we have Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, some douchebag.
Yep.
Homer Berger for Conclave, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, and James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. I mean, somebody seems to be out front.
I think so.
And so far, nothing has to sway this.
Nope.
It'd be interesting and actually pretty nice if they were like, man, why do we keep fucking over Edward Burr Nations Morning? We should give that guy something.
Love to see Conclave win this. Not gonna, but
I'm gonna go Corbet.
okay.
He seems like the obvious choice. He seems like a front runner, and his speeches and the way he talks about the making of the movie seems to be resonating. So
Sure.
I'm good with that.
What do you got, Ashley?
Yeah, because just really, it might be just that Golden Globe speech. But for somebody that wasn't getting his vision and push through until he did, I feel the other directors are going to go, yes. Screw the producers. Even though I'm pretty sure when we do get to the Brutalist, when they finally decide it, at least in terms of producers, Brady might be listed as one of the producers. Like,
That wouldn't be
so he's
shocking.
criticizing himself. Like, but yeah, I feel what Corbet wanted as his vision and making sure that he got it is basically, you know, I don't want to say asterisk because that sounds like it's a bad thing, but like, you know, it's the equivalent of like, I don't know, making the sundae, but you put the, you know, oh, I don't want to say cherry because then that's too much of a reminder of those fucking things. I don't know. Like the caster sugar on top of a lemon fucking cheesecake. I don't know. Just the added touch that
Just
the
a bit
directors will
outside.
acknowledge it for. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. The extra effort. It's the bear. It's the bear.
We're not there yet. We'll get there in a couple award shows. It's fine. This is funny because, I mean, I'd love to see Berger win this to shake things up a little bit, to make DGA actually be the big win for Conclave, which I'd be fine with. I know AJ wouldn't be a fan of this, but I'd love to see James Mangold win this and really shake things up.
I mean, given another choice that's here,
Yes.
Mangold would not make me mad in that sense.
And if DGA wants to find a way to award Amelia Perez, then ODR winning here wouldn't be shocking either. But
the movie is so flashy, and it for the most part it looks nice, and you know the choreography of everything and all that. For how much they love the movie, I'm surprised he hasn't been in the conversation higher, to be honest.
But I mean, and there's no reason to talk with the other guy. But the thing about it, at the end of the day, the best thing I can say right now is that it feels like this is Corbet's award to lose, and I don't think he's going to. As a matter of fact, I think it's a very good chance he's going to move through the rest of the award season, and he's not going to have a blemish on the record. So yeah,
it's all
Brady Corbet.
Guaranteed that Brutalist will be an Oscar-winning film.
No, 1,000,000%. Even a tech category here and there would still be pretty much set in stone at this point. Let's go to PGA.
I mean, how much competition? I haven't looked at the list recently. How much competition does it have in cinematography?
What is its comp? So it's
Here we are. The Brutalist, Dune, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
You think so?
Dune might be in with a shout as well. Depending on how they feel.
Dune wouldn't be shocking either. I mean, there's a reason Amelia Perez is here too. If they really want to get below the line categories, this is a way to do it.
Hang on, this is where I need to go to the guild.
Yeah, I could probably mention this when we're doing PGA, which we're about to do. But I mean, like we were talking about at the beginning, they are not hesitating to just keep doubling down on Amelia Perez, even with the controversy. So anything's possible.
That's the interesting thing. The Cinematographers Guild, they're 7. Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune, Maria, Nosferatu, and Wicked. They didn't even acknowledge Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
Something I also looked into because I was trying to work out what is going on. We are not going to at least have any guide for what's happening in terms of editing with the guilds, because thanks to the wildfire issues and whatever, the Eddie Awards, as they call them, are not until March 15th.
Oh my God.
So editing will be the blindest that we've done in a while. We will have no guild to help us go, well, they like that.
Yeah, I feel the Brutalist should be fine in cinematography. I mean, Nosferatu, like, the biggest selling point about the movie, if you don't like it, like me, is the fact that it looks incredible. So cinematography is something that I would think it has a shout in for sure. But then again, you look at that list of 5. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but most of those are pretty untouchable when it comes to the way they look. Maria and Amelia Perez, for me, of course, I didn't see. I saw all 3 in Dolby screens, and they're all breathtaking to watch.
Part of me is wondering whether Brutalist might have a chance as well in score, just because I can't stop hearing everybody tie.
Yeah, because they're damn challengers. That's why.
And then like the subtlety of like the intermission music being somebody not knowing how to play piano, trying to play the thing for 15 minutes. Oh, it's on the wrong key. And then when it suddenly goes like bloody ABBA style for the last 10 minutes when it time shifts to 1980. Like, we get like disco version of...
I literally just sit back and just watched everyone during the intermission because it was entertaining for me to see what they would do during the intermission. And AJ, I'm sure you're not surprised when I say it reminded me so much of when we would break between movies at Athena Cinema. People would just be talking loudly about anything and everything and just trying to be like, what just happened?
We saw Barry Lyndon at that theater, and it had an intermission, but the intermission for some reason was like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Everybody in mine just upped and left. So I was like, no, there's got to be something here that's going to be some sort of like Easter egg. And yeah, it's blooming chopsticks. Like,
Well, PGA gives us our first shot at animated, which is what's coming up next.
We've got Flow, Inside Out, Moana, Wallace and Gromit, and The Wild Robot. Again, apparently down to 2.
Mm-hmm.
One that's been doing shockingly well as far as wins go. And another one that has more than 2 Oscar nominations.
It's true.
I mean, I'm assuming we take into account with PGA how little means Flow was made on.
I would say so.
And the difference that could make. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Wild Robot got a nice win here, but I'm going to go ahead and say Flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ashley, PGA.
Wallace and Gromit, I die on this hill.
God dang it, I knew you were going to. I will also go with my favorite animated movie of the year, Flow.
All right, documentary.
Yes.
Anybody want to help me out with a couple of pronunciations here? I mean, I look at that and I
it's pronounced Superman.
Yeah,
Super
I'll list them off.
Man.
We've got Gaucho, Medea, Mountain Queen, The Summits of Lakpa Sherpa, Porcelain War, Superman, The Christopher Reeve Story, and We Will Dance Again.
Those were a lot easier than I thought they were. I was overthinking them. I feel like we're down to 2 again. We've only got one here that's Oscar nominated, but we've also got one here that had a lot behind it, a lot of love behind it. It was the documentary snub of the year, I guess you could say, that we expect every year.
Really good, too.
Except, interestingly, this time it got snubbed even to the shortlist, unlike what we've seen in previous years when it made it there, but then just didn't make it to the actual Oscar nominations itself. Yeah, Superman 1 didn't even make the shortlist, and but everybody else did.
So for those that haven't been paying attention, that narrows it down to Superman and Porcelain War.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I want to take a swing and say Superman, but I'm going to play it safe and say Porcelain War again.
I figured that was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Ashley?
I mean, I went with Superman, The Christopher Reeve Story, because it's the first time I've seen a documentary actually show up in a lot of cinemas near me. They really wanted to push the hell out of it.
It's good. It's real good. Really entertaining.
Just because I want to, because I never got the chance to see it, but I feel does it try and Senna/Amy it, and that it's not. It's all tried to be produced with sort of footage, interviews, and things like that.
Oh yeah.
And minimal voiceovers over the top of it, and
a lot of archival footage.
Yeah, there's not. It doesn't really sort of cut to people away too much, I think. I can't remember, but
and talking about how widely they released it, I didn't get a chance to see Superman, but maybe I'm wrong. I want to say it's the first documentary our theater has had since Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Oh God.
That's a 6-year gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to go with Superman here. I mean, it is the only one I've seen, but it's also the chance. See, here's the thing. What the guilds have a chance to do is what the Oscars didn't or wouldn't or couldn't, and that's give Oscars, in this case, give awards and credit both movies involving Jim Henson and Christopher Reeve, and I feel that that's going to happen.
Okay, we're ready to have a lengthy conversation.
I don't know what to do with this, actually.
We got a Nora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune, Amelia Perez, A Real Pain, September 5, The Substance, and Wicked. Well, first and foremost, I have rewatched The Substance since our last video.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could say the same, but the times don't line up.
Again?
Hell yeah.
Do you know what was honestly starting to make me seethe with rage the more I watched The Substance again? That it is not nominated in editing.
Tell me about it.
That's a big fucking mistake.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I know exactly what I'd take out to put it in.
Yep.
So, did I say who or what? It doesn't matter.
Same thing. Continue.
So, we've kind of talked about our dilemmas here and the fact that we don't have a picture frontrunner.
No matter what people try to say.
The one time we've had one picture frontrunner this year, and that was back in August, and that movie's not on this list, nor is it on the Oscar list.
It's very true.
And the movie with the most nominations, which is usually the one that is like, oh, it's that one. Simple. Nope. Not always La La Land, but
don't get started.
Didn't Dreamgirls have a shitload too?
Yes, it did.
And wasn't even nominated for picture.
Nope.
But this was one of those cases where it was like there was enough of a gap. Doesn't it jump from 10 to 13? Yeah. That's enough to make you say, oh, it's Amelia Perez then.
Nope.
Like I said, though, I don't know if these controversies are making any splash in the industry. They are not fucking budging on this.
I still don't see Amelia Perez winning picture. I just don't see it.
It's weird. It's weird when here's the thing that's really wild to me. And this is taking out the quality of the movie depending on who's talking about the movie. All the people that have been bashing Amelia Perez in general, not for like any specific thing, but just kind of in general.
Sure.
All say one thing that's the same in all the criticisms, and that's that it's Oscar bait.
That's the point.
Well, hold on. Amelia Perez might be a lot of the things people hate it for being. I cannot wrap my head around that movie being considered Oscar bait.
I just don't.
It's a fucking crazy ass movie. You're combining comedy, crime, a musical, a domestic drama, and it like there's a shootout in it. There is a comedic sex change song. What's the Oscar bait? I mean, yeah, I think they're saying that because it's considered, in quotes, the trans movie.
Mm.
But I mean, looking at it beyond that, I've never seen something considered Oscar bait that looks like this. So that is just, I get all the other criticisms. That one I think is just a popular term being thrown around meaninglessly.
Absolutely.
So I just want to put that out there. Like, if you hate Amelia Perez, I'm not arguing with you. But that's one where it's like, of all the things you could say that it is, Oscar bait is so off the fucking target. Because my first thought when I saw Amelia Perez was, I don't think I've seen anything like this.
Mm.
Good or bad, I don't think I've seen anything like this. I've heard that thrown in a lot as far as why the industry keeps voting for it. Is because it's different and like something you haven't seen before. Like, please, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Please point me in the direction of a movie that Amelia Perez is similar to. But with all that said, like you, Owen, I find it hard to imagine, even though they keep doubling down on it, it as like a picture front runner is weird to me, even without the controversies.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
Like, you remember back in the day when everybody was saying The Substance was going to be too weird for the Academy?
Yes.
I still somehow feel that way about Amelia Perez.
Okay.
Where it's like, take all the controversies out, take out the knowing that they are all over it for some reason, throwing all the nominations at it, but in ignoring controversy in the process. I would never look at that movie and think it would be the award success that it has been. And I'm still fighting with that, even with all the love it's still gotten, despite the fact that that love is also being bombarded with people that hate it. I don't know. So I guess everybody might be on the same page that the easy choice is The Brutalist. And just say, well, if we're going all in on Grady Corbet and there's nobody out front, we'll just keep going The Brutalist. Why not? A lot of people might be thinking, no, it's not a chance. No, but I don't think it can be ignored. And I've been mentioning this ever since it started. It really cannot be ignored how much of a hard-on they've got for A Complete Unknown.
That's right.
That you can't just look away from that and say, oh no, it wouldn't be that. When we've got no frontrunner and they love a movie that much that's not Amelia Perez, and so consistently, I'm definitely looking at it. And like we were saying at the beginning, I love just how not complicated Conclave has been throughout this season.
Yep.
Conclave has just been here like, hey guys, I'm a fucking great movie. And I'm just going to sit here and be a great movie with no controversies. I'm not going to piss anybody off except for the people we knew it was going to piss off, who, I don't know about you guys, I know the anger for Conclave is out there with a certain group. Are they not very vocal? Or am I just not hearing a lot directed at Conclave negatively?
I don't really hear anything at all negative about Conclave.
As soon as we got to the last 10 minutes of Conclave, my first thought was, oh my god, somebody's going to try to rain hellfire down on this movie.
and
I surprisingly haven't seen it. Like, I know it's out there. I'm sure it's out there, but I haven't heard or seen it in the way you hear all the other controversies. So it's like Conclave is so inoffensive, but in a good way.
I have been championing Conclave since before I saw the movie, and now that I've seen it, I can say that I was right.
And I was just telling you, Owen, like The Substance, I just got the Blu-ray for Conclave, and I rewatched it.
Mm.
Stellar across the board, that movie.
This is a chance to give it its flowers.
That would be fantastic. And let it pull an Argo where it's like, oh shit, we didn't nominate Burger? How did that happen? And what did we do? We better fix this somehow. I don't see it happening, but it would be amazing. I would love for Conclave to just take over. I just recently in this video mentioned my love for The Substance, and I love how universal the love for The Substance is. It is so the opposite of the reaction people thought it was going to get from the Academy.
100%.
And in general. Like critics, audiences, and apparently the industry all love this movie. And they should. And they do.
And it's going to get it's going to get some wins.
I mean, I wouldn't predict it for this, but I mean, if it happened, I don't think... I have a hard time imagining a lot of people would turn on it the way they do sometimes. Because there'll be movies that are beloved, and then when they start winning shit, everybody turns on them and says they're overrated. The only movie that didn't happen to was Parasite.
Very true.
Everything Ever All at Once, as praised as it was, started getting that. But, yeah, so I would love that a lot.
Yes.
I don't know how much we think Wicked's in this. Wicked has been pretty consistent with its industry love.
Mm-hmm.
So it does have that.
I think Wicked may have one big win left in it, but it's not here.
And like we said at the beginning, the very beginning, there is a movie that until we started live, I was under the impression had not been touched by any controversy or
You're welcome.
Except by me.
Nope.
And anybody I've been able to reach. My very, very small outreach. I am terrified that is absolutely a possibility.
It is, but I don't have it in there.
It would break my spirit. You might not see me for a little bit because I will just be not leaving bed and wondering what it's all meant for. Maybe waiting for that 2032 asteroid to come our way. But all of this said, I'm going to play it safe, I think.
I knew that was going to happen.
I'm just going to go with the brutal.
Jesus.
So what we're saying is it's not going to be Dune, even though that'd be amazing. It's not going to be A Real Pain, which would be amazing if it was. And September 5, probably not. So everybody else is not impossible that actually aren't.
I have it down with you.
But yeah, I'm just gonna go super safe. I'm gonna say The Brutalist. And by the way, anything that is not that one, I will have a perfectly fine award season.
Well, Millie Perez is the only one I haven't seen on that list, so I mean, I can't say anything about that, but I can say that
I wish I could stand by all the people that have felt hurt by Amelia Perez. But unfortunately, under these circumstances, I have to say, even if it's Amelia Perez,
that's fair.
I'm content. As long as it's not.
Yes.
Okay.
12 hours later, Ashley, are we going to say The Brutalist as well?
yes. But I just have a vague hope that they're going to go inspired and say substance.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll go with the Brutalist as well.
It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling to even think about that happening with the substance.
So I want the substance to win. I want Conclave to win. I feel like I'm the only one that wants to see a complete unknown win. And I know the Brutalist will probably win. I have it down to 4. For everything that AJ just said, this pretty much check all those boxes when it comes to me. I feel it is down to those 4. I think Wicked's got one more big award to win, but we're not there yet. September 5 would be nice to win anything at this point because it deserves it. Same with The Real Pain, but I feel like that's kind of sewed up for somebody later on. I never had Amelia Perez in this. I never had Dune in this. And the other movie we don't speak of, at the end of the day, no, I don't have it here either. Because I'm only going with a solo win in WGA only because it has no competition. Going to Brutalist is the safe bet. And honestly, I was very, very, very tempted all day long to just say a complete unknown and just done the party right then and there. Or to say the substance and say done the party there, or say Conclave. But I feel that I need to be very, very safe. And also concur with saying the Brutalist this time around. But I would like to be wrong just as long I like instead of the one I don't like, the one I don't know, and the one I hate. So there you go. That was forever to get through the guild. We're not even to SAG yet.
I did warn you PGA was going to take a while.
I didn't realize a soliloquy was coming up here, but apparently this is what the world we live in right now.
Well, let's I didn't know if you wanted to do anything in between or if we're ready to speed through these TV categories.
I wanted to mention the Grammy stuff.
Yes, please do. Why do you think I'm wearing this?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle got Best Comedy Album.
Yes, he did.
A woman that's been working in the video game industry for about 20 years, who did a score to the remake of Wizardry, you know, the original PC game from like the 80s, beat out Avatar, God of War, Spider-Man 2, and Star Wars Outlaws to the Grammy for Best Video Game Music.
That's cool.
American Symphony picked up Best Music Film along with Best Song for It Never Went Away. Best Score went to Dune, Part 2. Beating out American Fiction, Challengers, Color Purple, and Shogun.
Sucks at Challengers.
And then, holy shit, yeah, I think happened again. I can't remember from a few years back. Bradley Cooper has a Grammy for Best Compilation Soundtrack for Maestro.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember whether he got a Grammy for Shallow, if it won that year. I can't remember.
That would make sense. Serves it.
No, because they actually went with I'll Never Love Again, so technically he wasn't involved in the writing of it, like he was with Shallow. Shallow didn't even get nominated that year. So yeah, Bradley Cooper has a Grammy.
That is good.
And also randomly, for some reason, they decided to give Beatles Best Rock Performance when they didn't really perform it because, you know, half of them are dead.
Can't wait for the new movie, though.
Just double checking. Oh no, Best Pop Duo Group Performance he won for The Shallow.
Yep.
And for Compilation Soundtrack for A Star Is Born as well. So he now has 3 Grammys. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run through the chat stuff.
I don't even have access to chat, so I mean.
Although Spencer has already said a new AJ review on my feed. See you later. He's gone. We lost him.
Sivako Spencer is dead.
He does not give a shit about Netflix or SAG. Get out. Right. Speaking of. Stunt time.
All right.
Are we just doing both stunts now, or are we doing just TV and then movies in general?
Might as well just do them in order.
Considering how they usually do stunts before they even do the award ceremony and don't even acknowledge it on the show, we might want to do that. Being the tradition of the thing.
Isn't this one of the award shows that's like, oh, by the way, these 45 awards were given off camera, and here's 6 that actually matter?
No, that's
Critics' Choice.
That's coming up.
SAG just does basically SAG does a pre-show where they give the stunt awards and everything else is on the broadcast. So
that's fair to the stunt men and women, big time.
I mean, at least they're one of the bodies that acknowledge them.
Not wrong.
Not even the Critics' Choice do that. The momentum grows and grows for them to be acknowledged more and more. If not for the blooming edit that you see on YouTube of Keanu Reeves rolling down those stairs for 4 hours because they just loop it together.
Good God.
All right. So, the stunt ensemble for TV.
Yes.
We have The Boys, Fallout, House of the Dragon, The Penguin, and Shogun. It could be something like The Boys or Fallout or House of the Dragon. Actually, it totally could be House of the Dragon. I'm going to say Shogun, though.
Okay. Ashley.
Ooh, with the scale of the production and everything, I'll probably go with House of Dragon because I want to say Game of Thrones has been very prolific in this in previous times, even when maybe it hasn't. I don't want to say it hasn't deserved it as much as others, but you know, with the amount of work that goes into it. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, Game of Thrones, it won pretty much every time, and admittedly it didn't win when it was House of the Dragon Season 1 was in a few years back where it lost to Stranger Things. And I could see Shogun taking it as well. If people acknowledge that Fallout exists, that'd be amazing.
They will in a couple months.
It seemed like it had love at the Emmys for that brief bit by getting the nominations, and then people just ignored it. The fact that it didn't show up anywhere on like Golden Globes or Critics' Choice or Satellite Awards or any of these sort of other stuff, which is depressing. Maybe they just don't like video game media. Oh wait, they went all in on The Last of Us practically. Whatever.
Not this year. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll go with House of the Dragon.
Don't really know anything about TV. Part of me wanted to go with the Penguin on this, but with the fact that you guys both went something that's a lot more stunt specific, I feel that it would make sense. If you look at the history of this category, HBO has done really well in this category. A lot. Netflix has won a time or two, and Disney won once for The Mandalorian. But usually, all out bet on HBO, and Ashley did with House of the Dragon. And I thought I was going to go with HBO and go with The Penguin, but nah, I feel it makes sense. Once again, another TV award show, another good night for Shogun.
And we're going ahead and doing movie stunts.
I guess.
just so we can give the win to. Not
You're damn right. Let's go. Say it. Come on, AJ.
We got Deadpool, Dune, The Fall Guy, Gladiator, and Wicked. In another year, I'd give Deadpool more thought. Probably Dune as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe possibly Gladiator as well. But I mean, when your entire movie is all about this thing, and not just all about this thing, but doing everything it possibly can to express its passion and love for this thing, being directed by one of them,
Yes.
and breaking a world record in the process that was done by all the love that Casino Royale got when it broke that said same record 20 years ago. For the quizzical face on you, Owen. The scene where the barrel roll happens at Casino Royale when he crashes the Aston, when it barrel rolls like 5.5 times.
Okay.
Fall Guy purposefully did a stunt so it would do it 6 times at least.
Oh, yeah.
So because they wanted to one up it.
And of course, the movie is bookended by montages.
Yes.
That show the work that's put into it. So I'm gonna say the Fall Guy, believe it or not.
Ashley.
Not just because my favorite actress is in it as well. That's just a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, Owen would never say I feel sorry for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh God,
like
no.
I would. But I feel like in another year where Fall Guy isn't here, because yeah, that's what I'm picking, it probably would be relatively easy for Deadpool and Wolverine with the scale of, you know, the set pieces that they have organised and choreographed for that. Although technically, it did start as a David Leitch film, so yeah, it's all got his fingerprints on it.
I especially liked the part where they brought in a vampire hunter to fight people when there's no vampires in the movie. That made a lot of sense.
Hey, but it kind of resurrected Wesley Snipes' career. Even if for one brief moment.
He was fine.
Rather than fighting the IRS, he was fighting TVA agents.
I will say about Dune being here, when I got to see the movie brought back in the theaters, which is where I finally stayed awake during the whole thing, was able to understand why you guys like it so much. And then I got to watch the second one afterwards. The thing about the version of the movie that I got to watch was there was behind the scenes on some of the stunts. So I got to see that actually happen when I was hear Denny talking about it and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, I get this 100%. And everybody in the panel seems like Gladiator too. So it's like I can see the action sequences there. I mean, there's even a reason to believe anything that like Cynthia Erivo did and Wicked and like the Flying Monkeys, everything like that. Like anything that was done with practical stunts, I could see that would be great. But dude, seriously, it's Lee freaking Majors. Ryan Gosling sings all too well. There's no way this is not going to win. The Fall Guy, come on, give it some awards. The unknown stuntman is in the movie. The real song. I popped for it on the credit.
Speaking of the stunt conversation and the word unknown, this is kind of an irrelevant question, but I was just curious since we're on the topic of the stunts. The scene where the final fight in Dune, when Paul is fighting Fade, is that actually Chalamet when he spins through the air like that? I kind of need to know.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if he did at least partially his own stunts, but I don't have any way of knowing for sure.
All right, are we ready to blow through TV?
Chalamet stunts. Yes, let's blow through TV.
All right, guys.
It's there.
Now.
No, he has a stuntman.
Okay, they hit him very well in that shot.
His name is Lawrence Hideyoshi Rui.
So, it always seems like we say like, oh, it's TV, and oh, we'll just go with the stuff that's won everywhere else, and then usually that SAG shakes things up. There's a
Right.
lot of times where SAG does not go with the person that's been winning in the TV categories.
Yeah, that's probably gonna give me wrong answers then.
Do we remember how fucking legit shocked Pedro Pascal was when he won?
Oh yeah, good point.
That's like one of the most real reactions to winning an award. So, and I feel like they could be swayed towards like veterans more here at SAG,
Maybe.
or like people that are well liked in the industry, like in was it 2019 when it was all kind of like it felt like it was really gonna, and Sam Rockwell won for Fosse Verdon.
Right.
And when Rockwell was called, you could see everybody's surprise. So yeah, we're just gonna just throw some shit out here. All right. So, where the hell are we even starting?
I'm trying to figure it out. Where are we starting?
Actress in a miniseries.
I gotta find it.
TV movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got it.
We've got Kathy Bates for The Great Lillian Hall, Kate Blanchett for Disclaimer, Jodie Foster for True Detective, Lily Gladstone for Under the Bridge, Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer, and Kristen Milioti for The Penguin. Did we mention when we went through this before? There's 6 here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, just the random 6 out of everything else.
Now you see, it would be pretty easy to say Jessica Gunning because we've seen her win before.
Yeah.
And Foster, I guess, but like I said, Foster and the Globe scene have a weird relationship going on where they like each other. See, this is the kind of place where I feel like somebody like Blanchett would win.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Maybe even Gladstone if the love from last year is still lingering.
possible.
Kristen Milioti also seems like that's a role that's gotten her a lot of love. See, it's interesting now because Gunning's like in with the leading people, which makes it interesting. I think actually maybe I don't. I was about to say Gunning again.
Okay.
But I don't know, with SAG, I feel like, am I wrong, or do they not usually go with they're more well known and established typically, at least the individual winners at SAG. Like even Kathy Bates is not outlandish to me.
I mean, they've gone with some interesting ones in the past, like 5-10 years. I mean, for every like Kidman and Michelle Williams, you've got somebody like a Chastain or an Anya Taylor-Joy or Ali Wong can't be defeated.
Presumably Gunning is supporting. I never watched Baby Reindeer.
No idea.
And I don't know if that's lessening the chances. I can't remember how many like actually supporting performances win here because SAG combines them. But I'm gonna say Blanchett. Actually, I feel like I should say Gunning, but I'm gonna say Blanchett. And I honestly, I feel like I abandoned Milioti a little too soon as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go Blanchett and see what happens.
Ashley.
I hope the actors have gumption to go with Milioti.
Okay.
I feel that they won't, and it will just be Blanchett. It always feels like sometimes this is just a popularity contest rather than maybe who should win.
Are
Even,
you going to go with?
Yeah, I'm saying Blanchett, but
Not what it sounded like you were saying, so let me go change that. I am going with Jessica Gunning.
okay.
Because I thought you were going with Milioti the way you were building that up, that we all three were going to split in this category, but apparently not.
No, as I say, I'm hoping they do. I can't say the same thing last year about, Kieran Culkin and Pedro Pascal. If it was it might have been 2 years ago, I can't remember, but
That was last year.
The thing with that is, I know how good the performance that Troy Baker did in the Last of Us video game is, and the fact that nobody was acknowledging it, and then all of a sudden SAG did. It was like, okay, SAG are officially gamers. But I don't think they're going to be as inspired again this time around. Sadly. Right. To actor.
Owen, did you say somebody?
I said Gunning.
She went Baby Reindeer.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, actor in a TV movie or miniseries. I believe these are all miniseries, of course.
Yes.
We
Well, I
have.
don't know. Do you consider Baby Reindeer a miniseries?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're not doing
I
any
thought
more.
Disclaimer was a TV series too, but I guess maybe not. I don't know the difference.
I mean, it's a standalone series, so that's why it'd be classified as miniseries.
All right.
That's the issue there. Even though True Detective Night Country, there's been other True Detectives, how is this considered? I know it's I guess because it's standalone, but
yeah, it's
murky.
they might as well do what the Globes did and add anthology series to the category name.
Yeah.
It's fair.
All right, it's not often the Globes are ahead of the curve. Okay. Actor in a miniseries, we have Javier Bardem for Monsters, Colin Farrell for The Penguin, Richard Gant for Baby Reindeer, Kevin Kline for Disclaimer, and Andrew Scott for Ripley. I could be underestimating the others here, but I mean, my mind's just immediately going to Colin Farrell, right?
I think so.
I'm gonna go Colin Farrell. Would this be his first SAG? I think it would be.
Let me check.
He's got what, 2 Globes now? 3 Globes now.
Oh, I love when I can find things really fast.
I'm getting really excited right now. I would love to see Colin Farrell win a SAG. Just in general.
Screen Actors Guild.
Colin Farrell.
Got it right here. So he was nominated for Banshees.
For cast and lead, yeah.
And that's it.
So yeah, it would be his first. I mean, it took him till 2 years ago to actually just recognize him.
Yeah.
I
couldn't remember if his True Detective season wasn't very well received, was it?
I mean, he literally won 3 out of the 4 times he was nominated for the Globe. So
keep in mind, though, let's acknowledge that the Globes did acknowledge him for In Bruges.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So they were a decade ahead of everybody else.
Yes.
The Academy, BAFTA, and SAG only recognized him until Banshees.
I still remember his first Globe speech in 2009 because it started with they must have done the voting in Florida.
I don't take offense to this.
Just imagine it in an appealing Irish accent.
Well, that being said, even the Irish Academy only... I mean, he won a public vote for Best Actor in a Film, which is a bit confusing. But the only win that he had within the Irish Academy was, I think it's Ondine? Or Ondine, the Neil Jordan film from 2010. That's it.
Right.
Didn't get anything for Banshees. we have to wait on Penguin. I think they do. Yeah, their ceremony is Valentine's Day, so in a week and a half, roughly.
So, comedy?
Yeah, we'll go there. Actress.
All right. I am deciding to not overthink this one.
I think that's a good bet, and I have a reason for it.
We've got Kristen Bell for Nobody Wants This, Gwenda Brunson for Abbott Elementary, Liza Colon-Zayas for The Bear, Io Adebari for The Bear, and Jean Smart for Hacks. Adebari and Brunson seem like they're always in this, especially Adebari, especially. Like, I should really be considering her, but I'm just immediately jumping on Jean Smart. But if it's not Jean Smart, I think it's Adebari for sure. So
we'll get there. I have a factoid. We'll get there in a minute. Ashley.
Because I think I know what the factoid is. I will also be saying Jean Smart. If it isn't what I think it is, the factoid, I will insert my own factoid to factoid.
So Jean Smart already won twice, and Io Adebari won the third time and broke the streak.
Well, not really, because it took that long for Hacks Season 3 to come out.
I don't care about that. I'm just literally just talking about the award. They'll need that. So she won twice. Adebari broke the streak. So which means she gets 2, just like Jean Smart got 2. So that's the way I look at it. And otherwise, you have Jean Smart winning 3 times out of 4, which I don't think makes much sense. So let's split it up. So yeah. But either way, one of us is right, for sure. I don't see it being anybody else.
Okay, actor for comedy?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, they have some opportunities here, but let's see what happens. We've got Adam Brody for Nobody Wants This, Ted Danson for A Man on the Inside, Harrison Ford for Shrinking, Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, and Jeremy Allen White for The Bear.
Yes.
Now, naturally, you immediately go to Jeremy Allen White, which is probably what I'm going to do. But Martin Short is not competing with Steve Martin.
Nope.
Which I feel like is good for him.
Yeah, but he still can't win, sadly.
And there's somebody else here that I think I am not overlooking immediately.
I wouldn't overlook him at all.
Somebody who has been monumentally successful in TV for decades. Every time they have a show, it's a fucking hit. And it seems to be a very beloved, well-liked person in the industry and otherwise. Am I crazy that I'm totally not ruling out Ted Danson?
No, not at all. It's like I said, it's his year.
Only looking into it, i.e. hovering over the link on Wikipedia. Only now have I found out this series that he's doing, what was it called? Man on the Inside, is inspired by Mole Agent.
Yeah.
Which I really liked as a documentary.
So I feel like Danson and Short are totally possible. And I wouldn't rule out... Basically what I'm saying at the end of this is, it's nice to see you, Adam Brody. It's nice that you're here.
It's not your year.
Honestly, them wanting to honor Harrison Ford with something wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
I think that could be a really golden moment also. Since, once again, we have to think differently with SAG at times.
Sure.
Just Jeremy Allen White is so safe. It's such a safe choice. That I'm still feeling like I want to say him, but I feel like this is maybe the stiffest competition he's had to deal with so far.
I agree with that.
I'm still gonna say him because if I don't say him and he gets it, I'm gonna feel like an absolute fucking idiot.
Yep.
And if it's Dancing Ford or Short, I'll just be really pleasantly surprised. So.
Sure, that's fair.
And like I said, it's just Brody's just gonna be really happy to be in attendance.
Yeah.
Somebody named Brody's probably gonna have a decent night, but maybe.
We'll get there.
I will say Jeremy Allen White as well, but yeah, considering it's kind of a shame that Danson got the lifetime achievement at the Globes, because I think if he hadn't had that, he actually might have had a chance with the amount of praise that I've heard from it. Also, to be honest, it's weird to see Ted Danson on a Netflix stuff, because everything else I think that he's done has been. Because I think what was the one where he was supposed to be a ghost or whatever, but that was like TV. So.
I mean, he basically bounced around with NBC and CBS for the longest time.
Yeah, exactly. It's his
Cheers,
first time properly dabbling into Netflix, I feel.
I feel sorry for Marty. I really do. Someone give him some damn flowers.
I'm surprised you're ruling him out as much as you are.
I'm not ruling him out. I just feel like he should be more in the conversation because Martin's not here, but he's not. He's with Brody, but he's ahead of Brody. That's how I look at it.
I feel like
maybe Air Force Harrison is probably low too.
No disrespect to Brody, but I feel like Brody's like way behind the other four.
I think Air Force Harrison's further behind too. I mean, we'll see how he does in a couple weeks.
I do love how we're talking about where people are that wouldn't win when that's something we will never know.
It's fun, isn't it? It's fun to talk about things that don't matter, isn't it?
It's like the way people rank their predictions, and then like, it's like, what are you even doing that for? Like, how are you going to know if that's accurate or not?
When I'm trying to list my Gold Derby like predictions, and I'm like, well, I'm not even going to rank this one, so I'm just going to leave it over here.
I know like people do it out of like for 5, it's like, you rank them out of likelihood.
Mm-hmm.
But when people go past 5, it's like, why?
I like when you're voting for things.
Never know.
I like when you're voting for things and I'm like, well, I'm just going to leave this off here. This doesn't belong here anyway. I'm only going to vote for like 2 of these movies. I don't care about anything else. That being said, this is the year of Ted Danson, but he got all his flowers and then some. And I would love to see him get credit this time around. But nah, this is Jeremy Allen White. I believe in basketball it's called a three-peat. Let's go.
If it happens to be Adam Brody, this in retrospect will be the funniest thing on this channel.
Who's the person I Danhausen cursed in Women Talking?
What?
Ashley, who's the person I Danhausen cursed in Women Talking? I said you don't matter.
I can't remember.
The performance in Women, the male performance in Women Talking that I bashed the daylights out of. I said, "You don't belong here."
Wishaw?
No soup for you.
Was it Wishaw?
Yeah. I totally ripped him a new one, and I felt bad about it after I did it.
Are we finishing out comedy?
Let's get this over with. I want to talk movies.
Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Only Murders in the Building, Shrinking. I feel like we're down to 2.
Yes.
The Bear and Hacks, correct?
I would say that's a good bet.
Hacks is totally possible. I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna go with The Bear again, yeah. The only thing, I think the only thing that's swaying me is that Hannah Einbinder is not also like she and Smart didn't. If that had happened, I don't fucking know. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing one out there.
So there you go. Ashley.
Bear feels like the more likely out of the candidates here, I would say. So
2 in a row. It won last year too. I created apparently balloons as well. So yes. And we are moving on to drama.
All right, 3 more TV to go. I held up 4 fingers for some reason.
You just can't make balloons like I did, apparently. So there.
So for actress in a drama, we have Kathy Bates for Matlock, Nicola Coughlan for Bridgerton, Allison Janney for The Diplomat, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, and Anna Sawai for Shogun. Now you see, this is one where it's like Anna Sawai seems like the obvious choice. People like Allison Janney and Kathy Bates are like beloved veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, it'd be hard to imagine Janney winning over Kerry Russell, since Janney's the supporting role, to my understanding. Yeah, The Diplomat's the one that I was part of a focus group for, and I never got fucking paid for it, like I was supposed to. So I just have all kinds of beef this year.
It's fair, so do I.
Beef.
So you see, because I said Kathy Bates at the Globes.
Yes.
And even though it was clearly going to be Anna Sawai, I didn't feel stupid for that.
No, you
that wasn't one of those ones where I was like, "Oh shit, I'm an idiot." It was like, no, I felt like I wasn't mad at myself for saying Kathy Bates.
Sure.
Because I mean, tell me you can't imagine it here, possibly.
No, I can. I can definitely imagine it.
She's got so much industry love, man. It's just a matter of if this Shogun thing's going to continue. Because actor is making this tricky, even trickier than it is here, for the same reasons. I guess I'll go Anna Sawai because I feel like I'm going to regret it if I don't. But if it's Bates, I want it to be known that I believed in her.
My God. We're just not going to get... No one's getting any points this game. Ashley.
I'm also saying Sawai under the principle of they did it again. They've nominated Kathy Bates, even though only 9 of the however 20-something episodes have actually aired. It's, you know, episode 9 only just aired.
To everybody else, or
I haven't.
Okay. Ashley, this hasn't happened in a long time, so I'm not sure if it's like...
It has not happened in a while.
Let me transition over.
Ashley, are you there?
He can hear us.
It's annoying.
The best thing is I can't see the chat right now, so I have no idea. I can't see his face. The only person's face I can see is myself and AJ.
But we'll put up Craig.
He has signaled that he can hear us, and so he knows that we can't hear him. So we'll see what happens now.
All right. Put up a sign that says Anna Sawai. At least we know that you're giving your answer that way.
No, it's only the Diane motherfucking Warren signs.
Of course it is. God dang it. Does it help if I can see the screen?
Should be.
How is he responding?
Is it coming through now?
Oh,
there we go.
I just had, even though it was set to default the microphone, for some reason it wasn't working. But as I'm seeing on OBS, my bars are moving, so that's why I was confused. So everybody be able to hear me and hear you guys. It's just you couldn't hear me because of Discord being Discord. Yeah.
Well, am I imagining things, or you might actually be clearer than you were before?
That sounds logical.
So what I was saying that. Sorry, I'm reiterating it to YouTube for a second time, but so it's clarified to the other ones because what really grinds my gears. This is another case of. Oh, hang on. Switch away from Craig. Oh, I didn't full screen the thing. Brilliant. Technical difficulties. This is another case of people acknowledging Kathy Bates for half-assed work. Because as of the end of this year, only 8 episodes of Matlock have come out. Episode 9 only just aired Thursday. And there's at least, I think 23 episodes. So for all we know, she does a shit job in the other 2/3 of the project. But we're praising her now when we don't really know. So on that principle, I'm going with Shogun because that finished.
Well, I will say, given that it's Kathy Bates, I think we can make a bet that she's probably not shit.
No, it's just, if the scripts basically go crap and whatever, it's basically her that's clinging the thing together. Yeah, because when I looked it up, I was like, okay, let's see. Oh wait, it's only just the pilot showed up sort of mid to late September, but then they aired it as a double bill with episode 2 in October, and then they took Christmas and however much off, and yeah, January 30th, as in this past Thursday, is when episode 9 aired, and then it says underneath, Kat Coiro, known for directing Marry Me. She's also directing episode 14, 16, 18. Oh, 18 is the season finale, so we're only halfway through the season. Who knows how good the rest of the scripts are? So I don't feel confident in acknowledging her, just her performances for half a series. I always feel iffy about that. It's unlikely that somebody the caliber of Kathy will, do a bad performance, but it's just I always feel sort of dirty about, dirty's maybe overstating it, but I always feel a bit uncomfortable about sort of acknowledging something which is, wasn't there something in the Critics' Choice that was the same? I didn't realise about Kathy Bates at the time. There was something else.
I remember it coming up, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through the list as to what I vaguely remember as to what it was. It was something, but yeah, again, because I like to show whole performances rather than, stuff that we're halfway through. That's why I'm going with that.
So after all of that, you're saying Anna Sawai?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah,
so
because that also got cut off because Discord. Great. Yeah, I'm going Shogun.
Same. Move. Actor.
Okay.
Speaking of Shogun.
Which Shogun guy is gonna get this?
This, like I said, I think this one's a little trickier than what we just went through.
Yeah.
We got Tadanobu Asano for Shogun, Jeff Bridges for The Old Man, Gary Oldman for Slow Horses, Eddie Redmayne for Day of the Jackal, and Hiroyuki Sanada for Shogun. So not only do we have 2 Shogun actors, and Asano made that wonderful impression with his speech at the Globes, which I still love, is one of my favorite moments of that night. Sanada seems like he'd be the obvious choice.
Right.
But we've been on this whole kick about SAG also tending to favor maybe veterans, certainly beloved actors and or veterans, I mean, how else would you describe Jeff Bridges and Gary Oldman, if not beloved veterans?
The dude and Commissioner Gordon.
Okay, you address actors like internet comment sections.
What I do.
Hey, did you know all these actors in this video are in the MCU? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that worthy of note?
No, it's not. Continue.
Well, I guess Eddie Redmayne is happy to be here.
Yep, pretty much.
I actually want to watch that. I haven't, but I'm intrigued.
I mean, you know, he does have the advantage of getting a second season.
So,
Which means he has another chance.
Yeah.
They don't.
oh, you see, I just want to say Sonata immediately, but
Mhm.
Bridges and Oldman, the cast of The Contender, is really calling
Yes.
is really calling out to me. I don't know. I really think it's going to be one of the veterans here.
Okay. I think we're going to split this category.
Because you see, what I can see happening is Shogun doesn't win either of the individual awards, but does something in ensemble. Which I'm saying regardless, as I'm sure we probably all are. But just to speed up that category before we even get to it. Oh God, I really feel like I should be saying Bridges or Oldman, but I'll go ahead and say Sonata.
Okay.
The only thing that puts me off from saying Bridges on this is the second season was way less liked than the first one. So much so that it got cancelled. They're not continuing the story. The fact that and then using the logic of Eddie Redmayne, the fact that we know that even before they started filming Series 5, they've already committed to a Series 6, because holy shit, Apple likes making good things. What the hell? What's going on? This isn't right. Considering most of at least the Apple stuff has been good to middling, to be fair. And Oldman, I think, will just show up here all the time. The question is, do I go with the supporting or the lead for Shogun? I'll edge with the lead and go with Sanada here, but I'd like to see Asano win it. Just because I want him to do another speech of, I can't drink, we're filming again, why you people keep having these award ceremonies so it interrupts filming?
I need to mention this because I am going to get called out for it. Obviously Sonata himself is quite the veteran.
Yeah.
But as far as like a body of work that this particular group will probably be more familiar with, I was leaning towards Bridges and Oldman in that regard for that particular argument. But yes, obviously Sonata has been around since the 60s. So, yeah.
Sonata.
All right. And
Shogun.
for drama series, it's Bridgerton, Day of the Jackal, The Diplomat, Shogun, and Slow Horses. Interesting get for the Day of the Jackal to be here.
Well, with Redmayne being here, it kind of makes sense.
I mean, but then to the same extent, there's a lot of good performances in that aren't Redmayne. Charles Dance is strong. Lashana Lynch is the what the fuck, Michael Lonsdale character. At least if you go to the original movie, being the one trying to hunt the jackal, sort of thing. There's a lot of good supporting performances in it. that probably, as this category always sort of is, it sort of like is mopping up the other people that would get recognised. It's just, there's only 5 slots sort of thing. And so they go with the more established names. And then there's Bridgerton, and it's 75,000 bloody people. I want it to win, so then the stage collapses because there's too many people on the stage.
Are we all saying Shogun?
Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we are. Let's get away from TV, please.
I wonder if we can end.
I'd like it to be Slow Horses because, again, the supporting cast for that is pretty good. It's not just a Gary Oldman thing.
Here's a wild goal. Let's see if we can end by 8.
10 minutes.
Oh,
wow. For those watching an archive, that's 11 minutes from now.
God dang.
All right. Movies.
Yeah, let's go.
Supporting actress. We've got Monica Barbaro for Complete Unknown. Don't ask me why. Jamie Lee Curtis for Last Showgirl. Don't ask me why she was snubbed. Danielle Deadwyler for The Piano Lesson. Ariana Grande for Wicked. And Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez.
Margaret Qualley.
Yeah. So my backup choice, I guess, and I guess the backup choice for everybody would be Grande.
Yes.
Unless you're actually saying Grande. Saldana is the lead of the movie that they love very much.
And the only person that's unscathed from this entire thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if they should finally say, oh, maybe we should turn around on Emilia Perez, I would imagine Saldana still feels like she'd be here. So I'm going to go with that. But if there is like a massive turnaround, then I guess Grande is going to start feeling pretty good about herself.
There is logic to your thoughts there, AJ, as well, given that at the Satellite Awards from the International Press Academy or whatever it is, rivals, I guess, to Hollywood Foreign Press, they actually they gave it to Grande ahead of Saldana. So,
nice.
I will still say Saldana because it's actors with actors, and it's one of those cases where despite everything that's sort of being thrown at other cast members and the story, Saldana does still a very good performance, even though I still am questioning that Penis to Vagina song when half of it doesn't sound like it's in tune, where I guess she's like talking, singing, so it's not supposed to be in tune. I don't know. As modern musicals sometimes do. So, but yeah, I think Saldana's probably going to stick it out here.
So, obviously, my answer would be Qualley here if she was here, but she's not. Don't discount Jamie Lee Curtis here, especially at SAG. This is the award that she definitely can win. Honestly. True.
That'd be an interesting wrench since she's only at BAFTA after this.
Yep. And Ari winning this would be nice too. I would like that. Be some nice love for Danielle Deadwyler here, because obviously I'm still butthurt about the last time she was nominated or was not nominated.
Yeah.
I love Complete Unknown, but Barbaro just blows my mind because that feels like that should have been Quality's spot. So I'm still butthurt about that.
It should be Elle Fanning.
If it's somebody in that cast, Elle Fanning is the one I'd go for.
Yeah.
But that being said, the only person that really has came out of this controversy without anything on them whatsoever is Saldana. Knows exactly what to say, not getting roped into any of the politics or anything like that, not getting roped into any of the controversy whatsoever, staying completely away from everything. And that's how you play the game sometimes. And I feel that that's going to propel moving forward. And I don't see Saldana losing the rest of the season at this rate, unless something really shakes things up.
And worth noting, I am happy for Barbara. I just don't get it. Like, I'm happy for her personally, but
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get Elle Fanning either. Like, that whole movie just meant nothing to me.
Also, it feels like we always, we need to follow the tradition of Saldana wins everything, just like Michelle Yeoh, and then their next thing is a big budget Disney production, like Avatar 3 and 4 and 7 and 55, and everybody sort of is middling on it, just like it was with Michelle Yeoh and whatever it is that she did after Everything Everywhere All at Once. We follow the trend.
Wicked?
yeah, that doesn't really show
No,
cool.
I want to say Yeoh did something between that.
She definitely did, and I can't put my finger on it. I know it's there, though.
And it's not what just came out, the kind of reviled Star Trek thing.
You're not talking about the TV series, right?
No, I don't think it's TV. Hang on, filmography. Skip to television because then it goes.
Well, American Born Chinese, but it got canceled already, so.
Oh, yeah, because she was a voice in Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And then she was the seance woman in A Haunting in Venice.
Haunting in Venice, I think that's what I was thinking of.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And don't forget Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank.
Supporting actor.
Well, Owen, who did you say?
Begrudgingly, I'm going to say Saldana, even though I feel that Curtis could win this.
Okay, supporting actor. We have Jonathan Bailey for Wicked. Yura Borisov for Anorak, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for Complete Unknown, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. Now, mind you, I want to say Culkin's running away with it.
So far, it seems that way, but we don't know.
I need Culkin to run away with it. Not just because of how I feel about some other things here, but because he's incredible. Yes, he's in the wrong category, but it deserves everything it's getting and more.
Agreed.
Borisov has a lot of support. Jeremy Strong has been making his presence known lately.
Would not have a problem with that.
And it's, even though he and Stan are the only two Oscar nominations for it, it's still like it's doing that re-release.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's like right up here at people's attention. I mean, are we looking at a succession battle? Then of course there's Norton, and they fucking love A Complete Unknown. I'm a massive fan of Norton and could not tell you why he's been at every single one of these. But I'm going to stick with Culkin. I hope that's not just. I think what's throwing me off is A Real Pain not making it in a picture. It's got me worried. But and apart from that, it doesn't really seem like we've seen anything hindering him yet. So and probably because I just want it so badly for him, because he deserves it so much for this part. I have a tendency to jinx the things that I love during award season. But I will stick with Culkin and hope that that's where they go.
Ashley.
I don't feel bad about Norton being in here because he does sort of feel like the father figure. Like he takes sort of Dylan under his wing, and then the only time he sort of gets angry is when we get to the Dylan goes electric moment. But even then, it's sort of like as a father, he's angry, but he understands he's doing good music. It's just people aren't willing to let it sort of the style change.
The Jonathan Bailey thing still just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Clarence Macklin got so robbed here. So did Sing Sing in all categories.
It's annoying the way I'm saying this because it's inspired both ways. But if they want to be super inspired, they go with Strong. But I think they only go slightly inspired and go with Culkin.
I'd like if Strong win this. That'd be nice. Like AJ said, there really hasn't been a challenger for Culkin yet, and I don't necessarily think there's one on the horizon.
I was gonna say, we say that it's still early.
Right. I mean, so far there's not, but that doesn't mean anything because we've only a couple of award shows into the season. But the funny thing about that is that visibility helps every single time, especially with a lot of the award shows not necessarily mattering when it comes to the Oscar voting. So we'll see where we go from here. But yeah, I'm also going to go with Kieran Culkin here because I think that A Real Pain is winning something on Oscar Sunday, and I feel like this is it.
I really hope so.
I do too.
We're not going to make our 8 o'clock go. But
I was shooting for 8:15 at this point. If we can do that, let's try.
we have to, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actress, we've got Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carlos Vega-Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Honora, and Demi Moore for The Substance. I'm still afraid of Mikey Madison.
I don't think you need to worry about her as much as you need to worry about someone else that's not even in this category. Seriously. That's your competition at this point.
I mean, is there anybody, not just between us, like out there, is there anybody that does not want Demi Moore to win?
I don't think anybody does. I don't think there's anybody else that doesn't want that to happen.
I'd say if you're one of those people, I'd be curious. I mean, I don't even know that I'm curious why. I don't like to be dismissive of other people's opinions, but
there are marks for certain movies that supersede their thought process of what they think should win versus what they want to win.
Yeah, like that movie's fan base, or Erivo with Wicked, yeah.
And that's it. That's the only competition, because as much as I want Pam Anderson in this, and then someone else just pretty much done their party for life, so needless to say, they ain't winning. So,
oh my God, the red-eyed rage if Gascon took this.
Oh my God,
that you would see everywhere. But I mean, let's hope this Demi Moore thing carries on.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yes. Ashley.
I will also say more.
It feels good.
It feels like, I mean, it's the film that practically brought her out of retirement.
Yep.
And, no doubt there are other actors and actresses out there have been told, you're this type of actor, you're not the other. And then, hell, we've seen it, we've got it in the same category. Pamela Anderson was told, oh, well, no, you're just TNA. Cross the line. But, so it's good to see two performances that are sort of, resurrecting careers isn't right, but like putting careers back to how they should be. And I hope this means we get more stuff from both of them. Because, Mikey's got a career, Erivo's got a career, the fifth one not so much. So I'd like to see Anderson and Moore be able to do more stuff that isn't the stereotypical things.
So, if you replace the one that shall not be named with Fernando Torres, that should be your Oscar 5, honestly. Legitimately. And that would be an amazing group. But I'll tell you right now, it seems like it's not going away. And I don't want it to, because I don't want to live in a world where Demi Moore doesn't walk out with an Oscar in a couple weeks. And this will continue at SAG. 100%.
All right, let's do this one again.
Oh.
This is where it might get interesting.
For actor, we've got Brody, Chalamet, Craig, Domingo, Fiennes. Let's talk about Brody and Chalamet.
Yep.
the AI thing is a non-story. I'm not even considering that when I'm thinking about this.
I don't even think about that because I don't really know what the difference is anymore, honestly, or really care.
So
Just tops of buildings and a couple of dialogue pieces. Ooh, buddy, who cares? Let's go. Continue.
I was talking a lot after the Globes about feeling a Brody shift. Not just because of the Globe win, but just like something in the air.
Sure, I get that.
But now that they have really made their love for a complete unknown, not so unknown, I don't fucking know, man.
Yep.
I really don't. And Chalamet is on the circuit like crazy.
That SNL stuff the other night was gold.
That was an insane night.
Yes, it was.
The fact as well that Chalamet decided to do like deep Dylan cuts for his songs rather than any of the things that people would recognize is ballsy enough as it is as well.
They pulled out all the crazy for that show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And as with everything, he was so fully committed.
Yeah.
I would say that's the kind of thing Brody needs to do. I don't know if Brody's still banned from Saturday Night Live or not.
He might still be, actually. I'm not completely sure. It is year 50 for SNL this year too. So
it's like, do you guys want to go with the guy that just crushed it on Saturday Night Live, or do you want the guy? Boy, image of being banned from Saturday Night Live until you see what he was banned for. So we were talking with PGA about how, up here the brutalist is, so it could still totally be in Brody's favor easily.
Could be.
And you could say Brody's role is weightier. It's a lot more heavy, but then Chalamet's got the thing of he was preparing for Dylan years ago. So
before you say this, confirmation, Brody himself can say, I have never been banned from SNL, I just have not been invited back.
Oh, it wasn't an official ban.
No, 2003 is when it happened, and he wasn't officially banned.
Okay. That seemed a little extreme, so I'm glad that wasn't the case. And to my understanding, it wasn't even what he was doing. It was just that by doing what he did, he fucked up the time.
He wore a dreadlocked wig and spoke in a Jamaican accent when he introduced Sean Paul.
Yeah, it's questionable now, of course. But at the time, I think the problem was that it runs on such a tight schedule. He was not permitted to say anything except, "Ladies and gentlemen, the musical guest."
Yeah.
That's still really funny. That was
That picture is glorious, by the way. I'm looking at it right now.
It's a shame.
He looks like Anthony Kiedis.
It's actually a shame because the thought of him being banned for it is a lot funnier.
Yeah, he looks like Anthony Kiedis. I think it's hilarious.
So, God, this is such a tough call. This is Fraser.
This is a really tough one.
This is Fraser and Butler all over again.
Oh, absolutely.
And like Fraser and Butler, I could easily imagine them splitting all the way up until the end.
Maybe.
And Fraser took SAG.
Right.
So does that mean I want to say Brody?
Mm-hmm.
Because Chalamet's the younger one.
Right.
Though the big difference here is Fraser's was a big comeback and like, oh, I've never been in this position before, and this is great. Obviously, Brody's an Oscar winner, but he didn't have any of the other wins.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, there's so many things.
No, 15 either people. Almost.
Christ. Okay. I am going to say Brody.
Okay.
guessing you're between the same two?
Of course I am.
Good, I'm saying Coleman Domingo.
I would like that. I would like that a lot, actually.
AJ's reaction was like, the fuck?
Okay, yeah, we got to hear this explanation. I am ready.
I thought you were going to go with.
I'm thinking
honestly,
again for like the sort of body of work that Domingo has done, and it's it's taken this long for him to get recognition. Because did he get nominated? Did he get nominated last year as well? For I know he got the Oscar last year.
I'm pretty sure he got nominated here.
Hold on.
Double check. Yeah, Domingo made it in for Rustin. I think they're acknowledging, that he's got a good body of work, and I'm just wondering whether there's enough momentum with Brody and Chalamet that the votes somehow split and Domingo just about edges in. Because I get the Brody performance, especially when that scene with Guy Pearce happens from out of fucking nowhere.
Didn't realize what was going on until it was going on.
Yeah. And, Chalamet deserves the plaudits for the Day-Lewis method. Literally. But I'm just wondering whether there's enough that there'll be one or the other that Domingo sort of gets enough momentum to sort of... Craig's just here smiling and waving.
Oh, my God.
I don't think Fiennes has got a chance.
I was thinking you were going to go with Fiennes, to be honest.
I mean, maybe with British skew, he's got more of a chance. But
Fiennes was the front runner until he wasn't.
Yeah, I just feel that Domingo might have. It's weird as if he gets the momentum here, but then again, we've seen it before. Maybe the Denzel supporters and the Viola Davis supporters will go, Domingo, yes.
Just stab in the dark, sure.
I feel Fiennes could be a quiet dark horse.
I think he
literally
is
like in Conclave. What the hell?
I think if I had to quantify them right now, I would say Fiennes would be number 3. Honestly.
But yeah, that's what I'm.
All
going
the
with
love
Domingo,
for Conclave.
I'm just thinking there might be some. I guess that's my only surprise, at least out of the film stuff.
That's
Probably.
fair.
Well, maybe depending how you look at it. We'll get to the lead stuff, but yeah, Owen, is it Brody or Chalamet?
Well, I feel that there's a turn that was coming. And it felt for a while that Brody was looking to slide through. And I feel the Brutalist is going to do really well on Oscar Sunday. And deservingly so. But yeah, you just can't discount stories. And you can't discount the love that the guilds have for a complete unknown. Just like AJ has alluded to 1,000 times since we started talking about this season, really. And at the end of the day, I feel that there was a shift that happened. The shift now is the fact that this is going to be Chalamet's award to win. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with Chalamet to win SAG, and I think all the fans are going to be kind of happy on Oscar Sunday when he gets on that stage. I'll put it that way.
Okay, and ensemble?
God, this is actually difficult.
We got Honora, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. Well, I can't be mean to Honora now because I don't have beef with the actor.
That's only or the performances. I guess I do that.
One more time tonight. They fucking love a Complete Unknown.
Yes.
Conclave. Conclave would be my personal choice by far.
Yeah,
Of,
I'd say
of,
that's
the,
right.
of these 5, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Amelia Perez. I mean, once again, apparently we're saying fuck Edgar Ramirez for some reason, but
Okay.
but this is one I actually was thinking about before we got to it. So I had an answer in my head on our way here. And I think Owen may have alluded to it as well earlier.
Mm-hmm. You're
Not
correct.
not only, do people love this movie, and it's done very well industry-wise.
Yep.
That random fucking Jonathan Bailey nomination
Correct.
has to be coming from somewhere.
It's got the most nominations at SAG too.
So while it could conceivably be any of these,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess Wicked.
Okay. Ashley.
Again,
Let's see if you're right.
there's 3 that stand out in terms of. Well, no, I guess I want to say 5, but I just feel they don't want to give an award to Carla.
I don't think they're.
That might hurt Perez. Then again, I'm trying to remember. Hang on.
It's going to be wonderful to see what people say about her.
Any details about when the voting period was for SAG? I wasn't sure, so.
That whole putting over the nominee thing is going to be really interesting on Oscar Sunday. I'll put it that way.
Unless this is strong enough that they just ditch it because of they don't want to do it for 1 of the 20, and they just go back to show the clip from the film.
Oh, you mean like when they didn't want to bring back Casey Affleck or Will Smith as presenters, so they just completely fucked up the whole rhythm of who the presenters were?
Yeah.
Almost. We're after 8:15 now.
I saw that.
These categories are tough, guys. Come on.
Because of the ensemble nature of it, I'm saying Conclave.
I already wrote it down.
Yeah. I think it's got a chance here. Whether it will have enough momentum to do a Parasite and then continue on to win the Oscar for it, I don't think so.
Well,
this time around, but yeah, for the performances of, to be honest, even the nurse that plays the one that sort of brought in to basically start the bloody dominoes rolling in terms of all the scandals and whatever. It's a good ensemble performance from everybody. So, yeah, I'm saying Conclave for that.
I already wrote it down. I figured that was the direction you were going to go. So I looked at this, and this is the reason why AJ is my best friend, because he was able to pick up exactly what I was saying without me saying it. And he jumped on it immediately to know that's exactly where I was going with this.
I don't even remember what you said. I just remember clocking. Oh, he's saying Wicked too.
Yeah. Now, I'll be honest. Before we started this, I was going to take a wild swing and go with A Complete Unknown in PGA. Would not be shocking if that happens at this point. And I hate Honora for many reasons, not just the personal ones. I just don't like the movie overall. And I feel like it could win. And I don't have it winning anything on Oscar Sunday right now. But that could be a mistake. I think if Chalamet can win actor, that's your flowers for A Complete Unknown. I feel that screenplay is enough to give it to Conclave. And I feel that Zoe Saldana is the only saving grace of Amelia Perez's Oscar hopes. Wicked got 5 nominations. nobody outside of possibly Tex, it's not winning much at the Oscars at all. But why not give it ensemble and just credit the entire cast at once? It makes perfect sense to me. And Shogun also got 5 nominations at SAG. And we saw how well it could potentially do given our predictions. This is the only award that Wicked could really win. Because if Saldana has everything locked up, Erivo's not even in the conversation for actress at this point. Jonathan Bailey's just super glad to be here. Literally super glad. I know. I stare at his picture every day, the big giant banner that's on the wall of the Wicked experience when I walked backstage every single day. I did it earlier today, a couple hours ago. Every time I walk by, I was like, you're lucky you got nominated. I don't understand it, but you're there. And my Fiero is Jordan. But if you know, you know. But that being said, yeah, why not? Give it to Wicked.
Oh, God, I've just seen the next Carla controversy.
Oh, is there more?
So, the Hollywood Reporter wrote about how she broke down repeatedly in an hour-long TV interview, proclaiming she isn't a racist. Except, also within the article, it says, the Hollywood Reporter has learned that she set up the interview on her own without the involvement of anybody working on Amelia Perez. So it's damage control solely for herself. And
Dang
like,
it,
even Amelia Perez is like, you're going down.
Dude, you literally just missed a golden opportunity right there. You said the right words, but you forgot one specific word. It's damage control, brother.
Probably. Shut it down!
Yeah, take it home. Let's go. So I can't see chat, so everyone that joined us live or in archive, thanks.
We'll
Anything before we go home?
I'll get through it as quick as possible. Spencer says, I've been thinking about Rosamund Pike and Saltburn. Thoughts? Yeah, she's there. I mean, it's a good performance. That's why it was acknowledged by at least BAFTA last year. So.
I kind of love Saltburn a lot.
I thought the sisters' performance stood out to me a lot more, actually.
I agree.
Especially the bathtub scene. Not that bathtub scene, the other bathtub scene.
The other one.
Carl seems very unpleasant and weird. Movie's going to feel the burn. Really enjoyed AJ's movie reviews. Happy the movie man is back.
It's going to be pretty frequent nowadays.
Also, AJ's Rugrats versus is not talked about enough in society. Piano Lesson really flopped this season. Netflix really has a hard time managing multiple movies.
And also working with theater chains.
Thoughts on Jacob's Ladder? Nice film.
It's got a whole video.
Yeah.
I analyzed the fuck out of Jacob's Ladder if I remember correctly.
Josie says, hey team, just finished reading Safe Harbor by Padma Venkatramana, excellent novel. And Spencer says, Jennifer Lopez is really underrated enough. Anaconda, Unstoppable. She's really working on being a better actress from Jiggly days.
Spencer, there's a movie called Marry Me that I really love of hers that I definitely, from the last couple of years ago, I really recommend.
Oh, the one that I gave that face to because I was like, I did not like it.
Well, I have a personal reason I love it, so
okay.
Yeah.
Josie says, now reading Secret Horses of Briar Hill by Megan Shepherd and The Black Arrow from Robert Louis Stevenson.
Back?
Spencer says, I enjoyed the Ostrich short from a few years ago. Really interesting. And then Bryce says, the schedule is PGA and DGA this coming Saturday along with the Annies.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll probably skirt on when we talk about it. I'll just touch on the Annies with Critics' Choice as long as the right ones, well, I'll say the right ones win. If Wallace and Gromit wins, I'll be like, I told you so, but whatever. And then WGA the following week. Spencer says, thoughts on The Docks from New York, a great silent film. Honestly, haven't seen that one. judging from the silence, I don't think anybody else has.
Well, I thought I knew what that was until you said that. Now I'm not sure I know what that. I thought I knew what that was, but maybe I don't.
Let me just double check. 1928 with George Bancroft. Did it get nominated or anything? Because 28 it might have shown up. No, it's
we're
just
wrong.
in Congress. It got nothing. But it's in Criterion.
Totally read that wrong, Nick.
Directed by Joseph von Sternberg. Who did
I don't think I saw it.
yeah.
We're not talking about the 45 comedy movie. We're talking about the original, right?
Yeah.
The silent film, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before
yes.
he went into... I mean, I'm looking at the other projects he's listed of, and I don't recognise...
You can watch it shoot right now. Literally, the whole thing, an hour and 15 minutes, is available on its Wikipedia page.
Well, I vaguely recognise the name of Shanghai Express that he did a few years afterwards. From Marlene Dietrich and all that. And uncredited on Duel in the Sun as well.
This is literally right by my head right now.
Yeah, there it is. Josie's new watches since last time. Steamboat Round the Bend, Where the Spirit Lives, Heavens Above, Chinese Odyssey, the 2002 version, Carry On Cowboy, Tucker, The Man in His Dream, and The Devil's Advocate.
Nice.
I'm actually in the process of doing a Coppola marathon right now. So Tucker is also right here, right by the screen.
Josie says, I've finally seen Brutalist and I'm Still Here, both excellent films. Brutalist is in my top 3 of the Best Picture 10, absolutely magnificent.
So I just want to prove I literally have all my Coppola movies right here.
Yeah.
I will be watching I'm Still Here first thing on Friday morning. Finally.
Bryce says, SAG, I will say some of the wins might not matter as much because of Oscar voting ending on the 18th, 5 days before the SAG ceremony. But maybe the Ensemble Award could give us a hint. Spencer saying movies from today could learn a lot from movies from the late 20s and early 30s. What, be racist? And have blackface? Like, some aspects from movies from the late 20s and early 30s.
As far as technique goes, they used to learn, but not as much anymore. The people that care learn from the people that learned from those movies. So it's like kind of starting a chain.
Bry also adding from the ensemble comment, it might not matter compared to the last 3 years. Joe says Brutalist belongs in the canon of movies where the wife helps the career-obsessed husband come to his senses alongside Funny Farm, The River Wild, and Family Man.
Yeah, I immediately link those together.
And then regarding all the silent romance movies, Josie says she loves Seven Chances with Buster Keaton and also Safety Last. There's some strong Buster stuff. Right, speaking of which, what the fuck is going on with Knight Rider right now this season? Almost every Best Picture nominee has some sort of controversy.
Yeah, well, I'd say the substance doesn't, but apparently there's people that are trying to start stuff with that too, so I don't know anything about politics or anything, so I can't really get involved.
Spencer saying, I'm Still Here is leaps and bounds better than Amelia Perez. I feel the way about it is comparable to, I feel the way about Amelia Perez is comparable to the way Owen feels about you. Oh, sorry.
Just you. I'm sorry. I'm sure Torres is great, but don't take Demi's Oscar away, please.
For someone who doesn't watch these till a month or so later after the ceremony, it's getting really annoying. I guess because of everything having the controversy. Spencer says, has anyone walked with Brando recently? No. Don't think it's... I want to say it hasn't come out here. I don't know.
have not seen any sign of it.
It's nowhere around here.
I was just about to call out. Josie mentioned Seven Chances with Buster Keaton. I was just wondering if anybody remembered when they remade that movie with Chris O'Donnell.
Oh God.
Do you remember his?
Was it called Seven Chances, or did they change the name? I'm trying to remember.
It was called The Bachelor. I think Renee Zellweger might have been the co-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a remake of Seven Chances, technically.
I didn't realize that. Probably because you said the word technically, I was like, wow, there's a giant asterisk here. That's the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
They share a very basic log line. That's about it.
Yeah. Spencer also says, I love nothing sacred.
I have like 3 copies of that movie for no reason.
Josie with some devil's advocate.
Carol Lombard and Frederick March.
That's the one I'm thinking of. I'm assuming it's the one she's thinking of.
The one that Penn actually owns the rights to. And you know what I'm talking about.
Some of Josie's devil's advocate trivia here. Keanu accepted a lower pay so the producers could pay Al Pacino's asking price. When Pacino later heard about this, he donated that money that he got as an increase to charity. Then I guess it got cut off because they just see something about, more specifically, the colour of the horses. I guess there's a horse scene with it. Yeah, I vaguely remember it now, yeah. One of the horses is white, representing conquest or pestilence. One is red, representing war. And then the final jogger's wearing black, representing famine. So I guess, you know, symbolism of the horseman and all that. Milton, who's reciting a monologue about Barzoon to provide his justification for sending the demon joggers after Barzoon, is wearing a green robe. Green was the colour of death. Boxing match that Lomax and Milton attend was not a stage bout, but a legitimate fight. October 4th, 1996 at Madison Square Garden, where Roy Jones Jr. took on Bryant Brannan. Jones knocked out Brannan during the second round. And then Jones, I guess, got to cameo in Matrix Reloaded, which I forgot about.
So real quick, I don't want to forget this, because nothing's sacred. Penn Jillette got the rights to Nothing Sacred for Cruel Tricks for Dear Friends, the VHS video that shows you how to do a bunch of magic tricks. And this day, in one of the greatest years of my life that I wasn't aware until it happened, 2019, I checked off the biggest bucket list item I will ever have in my entire life, when I not only was absolute front row center, but I was able to finally see and meet Penn and Teller on this day in 2019. So yeah, I got that, came across my time hop of like on Facebook. It's like, this is the day that we talk about Nothing Sacred, the Penn and Teller reference, and now when I finally checked off the bucket list of finally meeting Penn and Teller.
That's actually kind of an insane coincidence that came right.
Because it's funny, because in 2016, I wrote on Facebook, my goal one day is to finally see and meet Penn and Teller. And 3 years to the day is when I finally saw and met Penn and Teller. Thought that was crazy to bring that up.
A few things from Spencer and Bri before I get back to the Devil's Advocate stuff. AJ should be sent to Sundance for free for research for the film community. Such hacks over there, we need a real film buff. Owen too, that guy's really becoming an important member of the world.
I didn't catch the first half of that, so I'm really confused.
I'm not sure what you're saying, sir. What did you say?
AJ should be sent to Sundance for free for research for the film community. Such hacks over there, we need a real film buff there.
I heard this year's Sundance was pretty underwhelming, except the movie with Conan in it is like the one everybody's talking about.
I'd love to go to Sundance, actually, to be quite honest with you. I think it'd be fun. God knows, let's see how much mileage I would get in my sleep time.
I've heard taking a movie there's a total pain in the ass because I guess you have to like pay for everything, like
Mhm.
staying there and doing the whole thing is like all on you.
Well, Howard worked on like a little like indie release. Not really an indie movie. But it was one of those like make your own like movies and everything, and they took it to a couple of film festivals around here, and they had to like pay for their way to get there too. So
Spencer says, I saw City Go in a theatre recently. I wish there was more old film cinemas around.
Yeah.
I mean, there is Tarantino cinema practically does that with its VHS stuff that it does practically every night.
I would kill to go to Alamo Draft House. It so makes me mad that the world shut down. We lost our chance at one. We would have had it.
There's one, the theater that we went to, the art house, the one we were just talking about actually, where we saw Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
They'll play classics quite a bit. I think they're doing their Lynch marathon again that we went to
Nice.
back in 2014.
Yeah.
And there was one point where they were playing Stage Door, the 1937 movie, I think it is. And I went in there to pay for my ticket, and they said, "Oh no, dude, this is a free screening."
Wow.
And they did not advertise that. They just advertised that they were playing the movie. I had no idea it was so that. Yeah, that's stuff like that is fantastic.
So I get Pepsi, and then I get Reese Pieces, and I also get to watch a free movie. Nice. I could spend more at Wendy's or B-Dubs afterwards.
Spencer also says, crazy how good 1928 was for film and how 1929 struggled. I mean, I'm not saying that the Wall Street crash probably happened that meant a lot of people that would go never went because of the Great Depression. It took a couple of years for everybody to get the gumption to go again. So yeah, back to Devil's Advocate. The line Milton says to Kevin about how there's more people in law school than there are lawyers on the whole planet also comes from St. Elmo's fire. Bry mentions there's something why Amelia Perez is getting hate. That's a lot of people are overlooking. It's the heavy campaign from Netflix. Back to Josie. On the episode of Inside the Actors Studio from 2019, Pacino revealed his dog had died, resulting in alopecia reaction from the psychological stress. So, as a result, he wore a wig for Devil's Advocate. Including the Gettis case, Kevin Lomax had won 64 cases before coming to New York, and after coming to, he won 2 more cases, which means 66. So close. Devil's Advocate would pair well with both The Brutalist and Conclave. Yeah, to some extent. Sam Raimi was considered to direct Devil's Advocate. That'd be an interesting version.
Oh, that would have been a very different movie. Well, even with Taylor Hackford, who's usually like not particularly flashy, that's still a crazy ass movie for him.
And Spencer says, I watched Moving Violations again, Owen. Thank you for this film.
Yes. Spread the word. I do what I can. You need to watch DC Cab now.
I just love the. I wasn't looking when you said that, but just by your tone change, it sounded like you went from happy to completely straight faced when you said you need to see DC Cab now.
Watch DC Cab immediately.
Some Tucker trivia. Of the 51 Tuckers ever made, George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola each own 2.
Can't say anything.
Bridges wears cufflinks formerly owned by the real Preston Tucker.
Dang, you almost got me to say it out loud. George Carlin.
Replicas on 74 Ford chassis were constructed for the film. One of these, in Tucker trademark Waltz Blue, has been donated to the Ippolisanti Automotive Historical Collection, or History Collection by relatives of Preston Tucker. The Tucker never did have fuel injection as originally advertised. Coppola originally planned on making a biopic on Preston Tucker after completing Godfather Part 2 and wanted Brando as Tucker. Interesting. The film Coppola actually did make after the sequel instead was Apocalypse Now, which I guess let Brando stay on for a different role. Coppola originally envisioned it as a musical based on the life of Preston Tucker. At one point, when that was still the plan, Leonard Bernstein was even slated to be on board. Jeez.
I can't do that.
I'm just going to keep running to make it even more awkward for Owen. I can't say it.
Don't
the
say
actual
that
factory that Preston Tucker used to build his own 50 Tucker automobiles is now owned by Tootsie Roll and manufactures 24 million dot candies a day.
I can't say it out loud, and I want to so bad.
Then Slater plays the son of Jeff Bridges, and then the following year in The Wizard, he'd play the son of Beau Bridges. He just likes Bridges, I guess.
I like Bridges! Anyway. If you know, you know.
Rye says, is Netflix trying to be the studio version of Harvey Weinstein's campaign strategy? Campaign heavily for one movie and trying to get nominated for everything and just letting it. And yeah, Bry follows it up afterwards.
I'm not sure.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure what's making me think this. If he was still around, Emilio Perez really feels like a movie Weinstein would have put out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said, I can't explain why I feel that way, but holy shit, do I strongly feel that way now that I'm thinking about it.
Netflix trying to say without words, but by showing nominations that they'd say they'd be better than any other studio during award season, just like Weinstein would. Speaking of William Hurt and AJ series, thoughts on J-Lo and the musical Kiss of the Spider-Woman?
Well, I don't know anything about the musical. I don't think I knew it was a musical until I heard about that movie. So I don't really have an opinion yet. But I do agree she's a better actress than she gets credit for.
One of my favorite Jennifer Lopez performance has always been Selena, and love to see her go back to musical again, because obviously that's like, I mean, the Jenny from the Block thing was a gimmick, I get it, but I mean, she still can sing, and I'm completely fine with her getting a role where she can sing again.
Sophia Coppola's Somewhere is Fire. Also says Spencer.
I almost got it done.
Josie says also saw September 5, which was really good.
That's
Leonie
so good.
Lynch and John Magaro were fantastic. I want a sequel with just those two.
Josie, you need to, if you haven't had a chance to check it out or not, Aaron Sorkin did a television series on ABC called Sports Night. And that's kind of the vibe I got from September 5, just watching it. Not as a comedy, obviously, because September 5 is not a comedy. But I mean, imagine like September 5 if it was more of like comedic style and written by Aaron Sorkin. Yeah, Sports Night is something I really enjoyed watching too. And it can also get really dramatic. Several of the episodes did. So yeah, I recommend that TV series for sure.
Interesting one for Spencer here. And I'm trying to work out whether you've addressed it in the previous videos.
Possibly. We'll see.
AJ, can you think of any weakness that Tarantino has?
We have a Summer of Tarantino series, but I know it's not the one that you really like as much.
It's something that I know I can't quite describe. I tried to describe it in the Hateful Eight review, but I couldn't really put it into words. It's in Django and the Hateful Eight. It feels like the opening dialogue of both of those movies feels like Tarantino trying to be Tarantino. And then it kind of feels itself out and finds its way to being the great scripts they are. Because obviously Django is one of my favorite movies ever, so
sure,
I have no problems with that script. But I've noticed that, and also Channing Tatum should have been introduced a little earlier in The Hateful Eight.
That's
We
fair.
we should have known Channing Tatum was under the floor while Jackson was outing Bob and during
Yeah,
that whole scene.
I agree with that.
That would have really ramped up the tension of that scene of wondering when Channing Tatum's gonna make his move. It seems very un-Tarantino that Channing Tatum attacks before we've ever known he existed,
Yeah.
and we never built up to that moment.
Finally, we may see Long's Day Journey with old crazy Lady Lang. Says Spencer. Also, Diane seems very one note. Ballads are really her thing. It'd be nice to see her do something different. Josie's got one fact, at least, about I'm Still Here. For director Walter Sellers, telling the story of the saga of the Pulver family was a personal mission, as he was friends with the family since he was 13. And then Torres said he cut out all of her crying scenes because apparently Marcelo Rubens Pulver said that his mother never cried in front of the family and was restrained just as she was portrayed in the film. So that's cropping was done to make it accurate to history.
I will say that I've seen that trailer a lot, and I saw it again this week when I watched the movie this past week. And I think it was on Seed of the Sacred Fig, actually. Which it's fine. The ending's fun. But I just like how it's so abrupt it is. Because it's like really tension building, and then the ending happens like, oh, that was kind of cool. And it's like, okay, fine. But I am looking forward to I'm Still Here. I'm curious to see what all the hubbub about it is. I feel more and more that I'm going to be indifferent on Amelia Perez, but I feel like I'm Still Here is something I'm probably going to be okay with. But again, just don't take away Demi's Oscar. That's all I care about.
Bry says the last 2000 movies watched. This is a mix. Taxi to the Dark Side, Deliver Us from Evil, The Wrestler, Waltz with Bathsheba,
Yes!
Enron, The Smartest Guys in the Room, and Milk.
So you get my Latino man reference now. Good job.
It's a combo.
Amazing.
Spencer says Susan Lucci has to change up her acting style to win, and so should Diane for her song choice in order to win. I wonder once old Diane wins if people will forget about her or whether she'll start aiming to try and get 2 wins.
I love that Spencer's just going in on Diane Warren suddenly.
It's not like Diane Warren tonight. It is
Yeah, you remember in Spaceballs when they went up to ludicrous speed and they way overshot the Winnebago?
Yes.
There's 8:15.
Yeah, I feel if
6 o'clock when we started.
If you look at Diane's sort of early work, even probably going up to sort of the 2000s, there's a lot of stuff where she did banger tunes that, like, did well in the charts, not just award nominations. It's only sort of with the sort of safe ballads that just have been for sort of the last decade or so that it just feels like it's just done there for the sake of doing it. Bryce says with Jim Henson Idea Man, it's not fantastic. It's basically if you watch defunct TV miniseries on Henson. That's basically what Ron Howard's movie is, especially with the theming of the ticking clock.
Don't you discredit Defunctland. Defunctland is awesome.
Spencer says I love movies, especially horror movies at camps. There's a new one with Finn Wolfhard coming this year.
Yeah, the trailer is like bat insane.
Ooh.
And I can't wait for it. It looks really good. I saw the trailer the other day. I saw a Red Band for it actually.
Favorite underrated Ralph Fiennes performance?
Well, it's not underrated because everybody loves it and everybody quotes it, but I feel like it's an unpopular opinion that I would have given 2008 supporting actor to him for In Bruges. when Heath
No.
Ledger was that year.
I mean, that is the correct answer, 1,000,000%.
I can't. If
The
we're
movie-
talking voice stuff, Kubo.
Yeah, Kubo's a great answer too.
Kubo is way more underrated because probably voice-wise, most people signal him out for Wallace and Gromit and the Lego Batman thing, which I think was the same year. So
I don't think Kubo gets love. Period.
When we do our personal line, I have an actual answer. Now that I've thought about it, when we do our personal lineups at the end of each year, where we do our if we pick the nominees and winners thing.
Yes.
For 2016, he was my winner for supporting actor for A Bigger Splash. That's one that doesn't get enough attention.
And even though I like the original film better, I really like his portrayal of Francis Dolarhyde in Red Dragon.
Yes, absolutely.
It gets
Charles Van Doren
overshadowed by the fact that the Manhunter one's better.
I love Quiz Show. Quiz Show is so freaking good.
It's hard to find an underrated one when he's pretty beloved. And for such a wide array of roles.
I can't wait to see the fact that in the space of the next 12 months, I'm going to see him in, I think, 2 Danny Boyle movies?
Yep.
With the 28 Years Laters. And also, I think for the first time, he's finally doing an Alan Bennett produced thing on film. He's done God knows how much, I think, on stage at the National. But he's now doing an adaptation of... Oh, no, wait, it isn't even an adaptation. It's an original script from Bennett with Fiennes and Broadbent and Simon Russell Beale. What the shit? Yes!
That sounds fun.
They started filming They started filming late May, but God, that... And it's a BBC film, which means it will show up on TV at least within the 2 years after it comes out.
I'm a tad embarrassed to say that I actually did not know who Simon Russell Beale was before the death of Stalin, at least by name. And it was how have I known?
He's very much Mark Rylance. That's the best I can compare him to. A whole lot of body of fucking incredible stuff on stage and then doing bits here and there. Predominantly for TV, but then did his film stuff. Adrian Brody performed magic shows at children's birthday as a child as the amazing Adrian.
I did magic when I was a kid too.
And
what you're trying to say is you're basically Adrian Brody.
Esquire magazine.
I could have been Cillian Murphy last year, but that was not to be.
Esquire magazine's been named Brody best dressed man in America back in 2004. And Josie, comedies have won at WGA before. Remember 8th grade? I do. I feel like nobody else does.
I did a research on that earlier today, actually. I was looking at all the times that WGA split the Oscars, and it's a lot more than you think, but it's a lot less than you would expect.
Did you like Marley Matlin in A Child of a Lesser God? I unfortunately don't. Spencer just hating a lot of people.
I just think
put
Jack
that on the
Jason
list with Diane motherfucking Warren.
Jack Jason needs to be protected at all costs. That's all that needs to be said.
I literally have... There's so many questions. My response is just check the tape.
Yeah, there's videos that exist on this.
We have the tapes.
We have over a decade of content on this channel. I'm sure Spencer knows this.
Thoughts on the Thoughts on the myth of the fingerprint, adding I Like Pandora's Box. I am blind on both of them if they're both movies.
I have not seen the Myth of Fingerprints. I did see Pandora's Box at some point. The only thing I remember is her haircut. That's what the movie's known for. Louise Brooks, I think is her name. I'm assuming that's the Pandora's Box he's talking about. Since we were talking about silent
I
movies.
think so,
before.
yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know whether this counts as Ray Fiennes trivia, Josie, because it says his name rhymes with safe signs. I feel he just says that to make sure people don't call him Ralph.
I don't know if it's still there, but when IMDb biographies used to have like quotes, like things that the person has said that are notable. One of Ray Fiennes' personal quotes in his biography was, "It's actually Rafe, spelled R-A-F-E," and that's all the quote is.
Makes a Blink and You'll Miss It appearance in Robert Palmer's Every Kind of People music video. And his nephew, Hero, finds Tiffin, who's had a few things himself, acting-wise, started up playing 11-year-old Tom Riddle in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Well, you might as well get it in the family, I guess. Spencer says Juror number 2 deserves respect. David Zaslav's a horrible man. Shame on that little man. Clint needs respect. Yeah.
Juror number 2 is
more
really
ways
good.
than one, we know that David Zaslav, I know the inside story. I don't want to go that far. I don't have that too many sources. But considering how it's sort of a open and sort of shut, publicly known thing, that all Zaslav's doing is trying to sort of trim it so much that either Apple or Amazon buy it off of him. Because he just wants to make money and get the hell out. So, rank the Purge movies best to worst. Is there a video for that yet?
We need a Purge video. Let's go for September.
Well, here's the thing. I think one's underrated. A lot of people didn't like it because it didn't utilize the concept and was just a home invasion movie. I probably like the first one the most on it. Actually, probably order of release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That sounds right.
I don't know. I think I don't mind the prequel as much as other people. A lot of people didn't like the prequel. I might like the prequel more than I like Election Year. Honestly. I think Skeletor is a really cool character.
I'm a tad bit biased towards Anarchy, but I enjoy the first one as well because it's what we got our house from when we had to pivot from what it was supposed to be.
The Forever Purge is definitely last.
Oh, 1,000,000%. It's forever. It's forever last.
Yeah, and like I said, I think 1 and the prequel are underrated. So, yeah.
Brian, I guess we're referencing the WGA stuff. Then again, if you were credited for the story of Honora, AJ, it would be ineligible because you're not a WGA member.
That's fair.
Well, you're welcome again, you piece of shit.
Josie also... Ray Fiennes is the 8th cousin of King Charles III. Of course he is. And in honor of Groundhog Day, of which I still give the plaudits that a British bloody movie channel is doing a 24-hour marathon of just Groundhog Day on Groundhog Day. I don't think even an American channel does that. Apparently, A Christmas Story is enough. So yeah, favorite time loop movies. Source Code.
Looper.
Source Code is the one that's definitively loopy. I mean, sorry, the way I say loopy sounds...
I don't think Looper qualifies.
I just what came to my mind because it's almost 9 o'clock and I'm not thinking.
I mean, I kind of guess, given that poster that's behind AJ, what AJ might say for favorite time loop movie.
I mean, it's certainly the first one that came to mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an answer. Oh, Happy Death Day is fun.
The first one,
I
yeah.
don't care for-
I like it. I don't care.
I feel the
Most
second
people,
one
no,
probably.
I'm in a big minority on that. I didn't care for Happy Death Day, either one.
I feel
I wasn't big on the
feel
second one,
two
but-
sort of tarnished the reputation that one probably had. Just like how every Conjuring tarnished how great Conjuring 1 was.
Edge of Tomorrow, actually.
Spencer says Before I Fall is Spencer's pick for favourite time loop movie. Oh,
That's
wait, there
interesting.
is that. Oh, shit. I'm trying to remember. I literally saw it within the last couple of months. It's a Japanese one where it's literally presented like it's like the same 5 minutes that's just in loop, and it becomes this. It's a sort of zany comedy about aliens that basically get their ship stuck. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Well, the horror fan in me would like to give a shout out to Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Has that middle portion where there's a time loop. But yeah, if you put a gun in my head, I'd say Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh,
which
that
is
was
the
at
obvious.
River.
Those are the correct answers.
River is the film where it's people stuck in a 2-minute loop over and over again, and just the way it sort of abruptly cuts immediately to where the 2-minute loops does it doesn't like try and balls it and like merge it in. It just literally is like nice cuts. Any more videos of AJ and Chris coming? Probably.
Very soon, if I had to guess.
Well, there is one that'll probably be sometime in April for sure. But as far as like just me and him, I'm not sure. We'll probably figure that out at some point.
Oh, Bryce says I'm not criticizing Defunctland. It's more of a criticism towards Ron Howard's movie that he kind of copied what Defunctland did minus the interviews.
That's fair.
I hear you. Speaking about substance, out of all the picture nominees, that's the one that has the least hate. Even Coda got the hate, but that was Will Smith's fault.
Yeah, it's true.
Name a late in career performance you love. Maggie Smith in Lady in the Van. She just like... It's brilliant. She's supposed to be chewing on the scenery because it seems like that's what the lady was like. So she can basically be hammy, but at the same time, you know, purposefully be hammy.
I'm going Pete Postlethwaite in the Town.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Hartman in Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone remember Bobby? Such an old Globes type movie. Same with Hollywoodland. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Bobby's great.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby's really good.
Yeah, I remember at the time it came out, it's like, what's this Beatty bullshit? It's actually really good. It utilizes archive footage great. It makes Bobby Kennedy a character through archive footage in a really clever way.
Oh, Bry giving an Oscars prediction flashback to before I was involved with this. Throwback 10 years, AJ's pride got to him when Eddie Redmayne in an Oscar bait 90% swept the season minus Critics' Choice.
That's right. I was really convinced for some reason.
And that's pretty much where we leave it. I just want to mention, because I'll forget, they finally announced in the past week that the Scientific and Tech Awards for the Oscars are happening in April. And they're giving a blanket award to captioning. which will be held permanently within the Academy's museum for anybody past, present, and future for contributing captioning to hard of hearing and deaf people.
Interesting.
So just like them because it makes sure I don't miss any dialogue, because that can happen.
Yeah, the wording is all the individuals who developed and supported captioning technology, whether open or closed, for film.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, you'll be next seeing us next week, as we are gonna be your antidote, I guess, to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
As we cover the Critics' Choice, and I think the Annies is the only major other guild that's doing stuff, which we might touch on, considering that'll possibly hint towards some of the stuff for BAFTAs and Oscars, depending how it goes. That'll be the next time you see us, but that'll be a double header with BAFTA predictions, which will most likely be a week tomorrow, so Monday the 10th.
Yes. That should be correct. Like Ashley said, we're going to be doing pretty much 2 shows for the rest of award season every week. That's what it looks like for the schedule. And we will be doing a Q&A at the end of the month, if possible. If not, we may just skip February and go after the Oscars, but we'll keep you.
It's only a week, it might be, especially considering that the week before the Oscars we'll be doing 3, because I'm guessing we'll do one for SAG and one for Spirit separately.
Probably. Oh yeah, I'd say so.
So yes, do you want to? You can roll us through the outro, Owen.
That's fine. So AJ, of course, is back doing reviews again. You got 6 reviews to check out if you haven't yet, and then we've got more coming. 6 different movies and 2 different videos, and there's going to be more that are coming soon. And Ashley can be found on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK. And also Snack Stashes, gaming content, all coming soon. I got a lot of content for you guys and girls out there that I just haven't put up yet, because we need to make sure things simmer a little bit, because daily content is how you forget about videos and how they underperform. I don't want that to happen, because I want you to be able to get to check out everything. We don't want to do a video every single day, because that just seems like it just kills the momentum of everything. So
it took me about 5 years to convince Owen of this, but yeah.
Accurate, 1,000,000%. Voices, content, sipping snacks, various concerts, lots of things still to come on this channel in the near future. So yeah, stay tuned in 2025 for a lot more content. That's going to be your show. And thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We'll be back here on Sunday, time to be announced, I would say. I don't think that's a recap show, isn't it? Recapping what happened on the weekend.
It'll be a couple of days after the show, so it should probably be the regular
time.
Yeah,
it'll be a recap. Yeah, because
okay, I just want to make sure,
because we ain't working Fridays for a change.
No, I'm watching movies on Friday. So 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Sunday, and then we're back on Monday as well. So 2 videos next week. That's your show. Thanks everyone for joining us, whether live or in archive. I didn't get a chance to see chat myself, but thanks for joining us tonight. And that's going to be the end of the show. So as always, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until next time, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.